Yeah, I'm SB,
Hello.
and yeah, hi.
Hi,
Joining
SP.
me are
Hi.
Jeff Compass and Deathline commentating.
Do you have a mic on stream?
You want me to have mic on stream?
No.
No, I don't. I turned it off. Yeah. Okay, yes. Then this is 120 Shines.
It's all of them.
Yeah. Hello,
Every
Brand.
shine. There are 96 physical shines, and you get 24 by collecting blue coins.
Which,
So,
10 blue coins per shine. It's 240 blue coins. That's a lot of blue coins.
Rude.
that is a lot of blues. So yeah.
Alright, so if one of you wants to count me down, we can go.
Alright, I guess I'll do it. On go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go.
Woo.
Now we got
When was the last time you played from New File?
Like a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Everyone still uses new file for races. There are still 120 shines races that happen in the depths of the community, I guess you could say. Not really.
Sometimes.
Yeah, so first off, we just got to watch all these cutscenes. That's like kind of what SMS is known for, or used to be known for, I should say, as a speed game.
Yeah, it's very cinematic.
You get to see the lore, as they like to call it, Vile Delfino.
I could see this every time I play the video game. Because I am still a purist.
Nah, nothing wrong with that.
No, boys, don't touch that stuff.
So
I
yeah,
would be more of a purist if it wasn't for efficiency.
relaxing vacation becomes non-relaxing vacation for Mario very quickly. Because jealousy is the long-term answer.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the first Mario game with the story, really. I mean, I guess 64 had like the 1 minute cutscene with like a letter.
I made you
what,
a cake. Come get it. Where is my cake?
This is like the first Mario game to have a story, and like kind of the last Mario game to have a story in a way. At least at this
story.
Well, at least on this scale with like animated cutscenes and
Okay.
CGI and all that, and voice acting. Game's voice acting.
Preparing to register customer
They didn't do it again. I wonder why.
Speaking of which, there's actually two different versions of the cutscenes based on what version you're playing. You play on JP or NTCJ, which is what most runners play on. They say a couple different words compared to PAL and NTSCU or English.
Proceeding with user instruction.
Am I good to read off of the
Sure.
Water from my cake. If you press the R button all the
That
way
time you
down,
could
you
donate
can
27
stop and
dollars
shoot.
for a heart beating
You
and
can then
container
use the control stick
Yo.
to aim in any
Go.
direction. Press the X button to switch
Yep, make
to
sure
the nozzle.
anyone wants to donate. There is
You
the
can then
command.
press the R button to hover in the
Good
air
for a pretty good
a short
cause.
time. If this tank is empty, no water can be sprayed.
So, yep. First real shine here. It's just kind of the tutorial level.
And press the R button.
Yeah. Sunshine kind of boring for the first 7 minutes of the game if you play from New File, because a lot of cutscenes, which
Proceed.
there's a whole discussion about that, but yeah, Airstrip
Oh,
is just setting up the game's plot, and then we get into it after some plot here.
a ton to say. I do think that marathons and races and just anything that isn't like purely grinding runs should have new file though. Like, it's kind of weird. Like if you're gonna do a race to start on hacked file, in my opinion.
Yeah, because then you also have to edit the timer to start, which is just weird. So
Yeah, I think it makes for a good like downtime at the start too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you get your snacks, your drinks in, and settle in for a 3-hour jam-packed action run.
True.
Hopefully sub 3. SB is the 120 Shines record holder. Getting a 253, the first 253. Really, really good run. I saw it live. I saw most of it live. Had an insane late game. So when it comes to 120 SBs, you know, he's kind of good. Kind of. just the best at it as well.
Yeah, I'll try to get a decent time.
120
Yeah, I mean-
is really hard.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's so hard to play 120. Like, I mean, any percent in this game is very optimized as well, don't get me wrong, but 120 is it has a lot of hard specific strats like at the top end that you gotta learn. So
Yeah.
SB is a gamer at some of the most difficult strats.
Yeah, even like D-Resting recently, it's been like really hard to get like close to where I was, so it's a monolith.
It's also just grown a lot in the past few years. Pretty much getting like an overhauled route. I don't remember when like the major route shift came in, but 2020, 2019, SB would know. SB, when did 120 routes just start becoming what they are now?
I want to say it was 2019
I want
because
to.
that's when paper came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, about there.
It's a lot different. Like a lot of people are familiar with like Trey's, average Trey's world record history video, which is a great video. But 120 has grown like so much since that video, like to the point where I think that video is like actually outdated now, really outdated.
Mario,
Yeah.
this object at the
His any percent video kind of remains the same point though. Like really not much has happened there. But 120, being the longer category, just became a lot more optimized recently, and still has a little bit to go, I'd say.
Yes. Other top 120 runners, such as John Mario 27, and Pogo, they've been theory crafting and changing routes daily and figuring things out and finding what's better and what's slower and what's more consistent. And 120 is never the same
Nope.
week
No.
to week, so.
There's always something new. So yeah, we'll get started with our first world unlock here.
The TLDR of that cutscene, by the way, was Mario got wrongly framed, and because of the BS legal system of Delfino Isle, we have to go clean up this mess now, even though it's not our mess, so.
These are the Polluted Piranhas. We saw the first one on an airstrip. There are like 6 of these in the game or something. Too many. 5, yeah.
There's way too many, yeah.
Sunshine really likes to recycle their bosses.
Almost missed the coin, but didn't.
That was really close to not hitting. That blue we call jail blue, and when you collect a blue coin during like an inactive cutscene, like loading out like that into this, you skip the text box, which every text box is roughly half a second or so. So skipping text boxes on when you can, out of 240 blue coins, can add up over the course of the run.
Yep, you may as well. We'll be sure to point those out as they come along. They aren't super common text box skips, but there are at least probably half a dozen, maybe more.
Yeah, quite a few. Around
Getting
there.
quick kill. Quick kill is when you spam spray shot Mario as you slide into him. It's frame perfect, right? Or it's like close to it.
You probably have a couple frames.
Yeah. Getting the linked during this downtime. That's one of the newer. I don't even know if I can say it's new. This is a few years old now, but it's one of the quote-unquote newer developments is doing the link during this downtime. People used to get the sewer blues. The reason for that is when you do the linked, that Mario kind of stops like halfway through, and you need to be near him for him to move again. So if you do the linked, that kind of activates that.
And here we are in the first world of the game, Bianco Hills. Very green area, and
Yep.
fun for like 3 shines. Not this one.
Yeah, that's a little more credit than I would have given Fianco.
Not these first three. Well, God of War's fine, but everything else is kind of painful actually. The hidden
Bianco 2 is like the one level in the game you can like intentionally sequence break. I guess it's not really a sequence break, but whatever. There was the Polluted Piranha plant there, but we can actually skip that and go straight to episode 2. We do that for event cutscenes. It's technically faster to do one later.
Yeah, so the main goal of the game is to beat episode 7 in every world, or every level, which there's 7 levels. And unlike Super Mario 64, you do have to go in order. There aren't like other shines available for you, so skipping them when you can is nice.
Except Bianco 2, it's the one shine you can like go out of your way for in a level.
Yeah.
Why did they do it like that? I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, the only place you can really get stuff out of order if you wanted to is Delfino. That's not really like a episode or anything.
Yeah, Bianco's weird. Like the thing is with Bianco, like also you can enter the next level, the secret, in like any other level after 3. Can't do that in other worlds. At least not without like something like EYG. I don't know. They probably like wanted this game to be more like 64 in development, but then they were just like
Rushed.
no. They rushed it. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, Bianco is the only world where you can enter a secret in later episodes, both or not both, but yeah, just episode 3.
Yep.
Which we're getting into.
First secret of the run. Secrets take away flood once you get inside. Or casually some of the hardest levels. I guess in a speedrun they can also be, but speedrunners are usually a little practiced at them, you could say.
Yeah, half of them are still relatively easy, but the other half are like there's some scary strats that you can do to go really fast, so.
Yep. First one's pretty easy. Bianco 3. Just about timing inputs, really. Don't have to do anything too crazy here. There's a strat you could do here that saves like 0.3, but it's stupid.
Yeah, I will not be doing that. Not now. Although you will see some sick stuff later in secrets. As I say that, I mess up the easy strat.
That's barely any time loss. You probably lost like 2 frames to that.
I was like, SP's walking as they're saying that.
Oopsie.
So yeah, a lot of the movement in this game, you're not going to be walking around just holding the control stick. You want to be jump diving or doing a dive rollout, which is that little like front flip out of the dive that Mario does. Super Mario Sunshine, in my opinion, is probably the best 3D Mario in terms of freedom of movement, especially when you factor in having FLUDD here. Doing hover cancels and hover slides and all this other fun stuff with FLUDD is just adds to the dynamic.
Grabbing this blue coin because when the plant goes down, you lose no time besides the text box to grab it. And we're doing travel skip here. You move from Rico to Bianco while this plant dies, assuming you do it fast enough. You skip a little cutscene and get this wacky, weird, glitchy cutscene that doesn't mean you're soft locking. It means you are saving 10 seconds, which is hype.
Yep. So SB just opened up the second world, Rico Harbor, but is now back in Bianco. So save the traveling period between Rico to Bianco here, which is about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Doing Bianco 4. Most of 120 when it starts out is just any percent movement. Or not movement, but excuse me. Any percent routing. So just because we want to get the event cutscenes out of the way, when you unlock Corona, it does that, as Deathline was saying earlier. So pretty much going to be doing some 80% shines for a bit, with some occasional blue point deviations.
Yeah, and you may notice that SP will skip a handful of blues, like this one right under where he was next to this 8th red coin. That's just because of how the route works, and sometimes it's better to get blue coins later, depending on where you are, depending on what episode you're in. Because there's a lot of these blues there, but 1 and 5.
Yeah. I messed it up, but I still got a sub 14, which is decent.
Hey, you know what? That's better than I get. So.
And then, speaking of episode 5, this is one of the first RNG checkpoints of the run. This one is not like...
First of many.
Yeah. No, this one's not super bad just because you get to pick up blue coins, which you need anyways, but it still can be pretty bad depending on what Peter wants to give you here.
It's not as bad as it is in any percent. Like, any percent, Bianca 5 is so important. Here, you can really get away with some worse patterns because you can just get a lot of blue coins with it. Which is super cool. I like this a lot in 120 Shines because it like kind of tests like to see how well a runner can adapt to, you know, hundreds of situations. So it's a little bit of like, you know, SMS can be fairly linear in terms of like, oh, just practice this movement. Here it's kind of like a test of your skills in a way.
I agree.
You can grab that link during that downtime because as those cutscenes spawn, PD's still moving.
Ooh, Peter's going a good way right now. This is very good.
Good
That
start.
was a very nice start. Let's see what he does
stops
next.
here. He's guaranteed to go down 1.
So yes, Mr. Peter here, you need to hit him 3 times. And there's 8 different spots you can go to and a handful of like these nodes that he'll bounce through where he won't stop at them. And with all that together, you can get up to 774 different patterns. Every stop, Peter can randomly throw a tornado, so you can add that into the mix, which loses about 2.5 seconds per tornado. Some patterns are definitely better than others, and right now we're getting a pretty good one for 120 purposes because of all the blue coins on this side of the village.
Good for now.
See what this 3rd spot is. Oh,
Less pain.
Yeah,
That's actually good.
That's good.
I can
Pretty
get
much
15
TV.
coins here.
Yeah, get all of them. That's really good out of Bianca 5 with this
Yeah,
pattern.
this is pretty much a deviation of the 2nd best pattern you can get.
And yeah, as mentioned, some of these coins, based on what pattern SB gets, he might have to opt to skip them and then come back to them later when we revisit Fianco Hills, which doesn't really lose that much time, but it can be annoying to try and remember which ones you've gotten, which ones you haven't gotten. So exiting here with 15 is actually really good, especially with that pattern.
Hey, sub 17.
I'm 17 with 15 coins. Not too bad.
That's really hype. And
yeah, at 5 shines, you can now go unlocked Gelato Beach, which is the 3rd world. And we're going to do that, and we're going to stay here for a couple of shines.
we'll be doing a little trick here where you spawn the beach shine and grab it during the gelato plant unlock. If you're starting out with this game, not the easiest trick. SB knows what he's doing, of course, though. This saves about 10 seconds. It's kind of like the same principle as travel skip. You just do something while that downtime's happening and save a little time.
True.
Didn't
Looks
stop
like we're
long.
good.
Feel good. So yeah, if you get this shine too slowly, you can soft lock your game because the game is trying to give you the shine animation while unlocking gelato and it freezes because of that.
Mhm.
But if you do it fast enough, the game doesn't lock you in both animations at the same time.
Yep. Top runners usually know if they're going too slow anyway, and they'll just bail out of it.
Yep.
So it's not as risky as it sounds.
Yeah, you really have to be like YOLOing it to mess up, so.
So we're in gelato. what we'll be doing here is Gelato Beach Skip. A lot of you probably know this, but
The
we're gonna explain it anyway because it's a marathon.
infamous skip of probably 3D Mario like history. It's that famous. SB's gonna be taking 2 coconuts over here, which we only really need 1 to do the skip, but we're grabbing the second one because there's a blue coin up here above the shine on the blender where you need to feed it a fruit and it'll spit out a blue coin. So we did get both coconuts off this tree for convenience's sake.
Yep. And do a little flip here. The skip's about 6 shines. Obviously in 120, you might be wondering, well, why would you do that? It just boils down to, again, event cutscenes.
That
I didn't want to throw in the water, so...
Yeah, that and the fact that when this game, for some reason, when you do a shine that's further than the one you currently have unlocked, so we only had episode 1 unlocked, but by doing this shine, which is the episode 8 shine, the game just gives us the rest of the shines to pick from now, because we've done that far through the world, basically. So now we can just choose to go do episode 7 early, and then we can save those shine, or those event cutscenes for later on in the run.
Yep, and we will be back. SB, do you do Gelato like last now?
I do it before Rico at the end, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll be back in Gelato in like 2.5 hours, maybe a little less. We'll be back. And now we will be heading off to Pianta Village. SB does, I believe he does, it's known as Fetch Movement.
Yeah.
It's kind of a new strat.
And I messed it up.
Oh no, dropped the input. So the idea there, what SB was doing with that roof is when you dive roll out onto a slanted surface in this game, you gain a lot of momentum, which then doing a spin jump out of that, which we just aptly called momentum spin jumps, gives you way more distance and speed than a normal spin jump would. And by doing that, we can wall jump off the invisible wall that goes straight up along that wall there, and then make it to the top of the Shine Gate, which houses Pianta Village. And it saves a couple of seconds over doing the regular Pianta early, which is just a well-placed spin jump, and then Y-turn, as we call it, where you go into first person or Mario cam in this game.
Casually, you're supposed to just get the rocket nozzle, which you get after defeating Yoshi and Pinna, but it's very, very slow to do that. So thankfully this exists. And Pianta 1, there's no differences between this and any percent. You don't get any blues here. SB got decent RNG, it seemed like.
Made up for that entry.
Yeah. Mostly, you just want the third chomplet here to be going the path that it did. Because if it goes around the back of the village, you lose a couple of seconds. The first two don't matter too much.
Right. Pianta 2 leads us to Piantissimo. This is a race level, and...
I just wanted to mention that it's kind of funny that we're doing this after Zelda, because Piantissimo is actually the Running Man from Majora's Mask.
Yep, if you remove his mask, it's the same texture. So we try to get as many blue coins as we can here, just because the only downside is, the half second from the text box, which you have to do anyway. So goal here is just route in as many blues as you possibly can. Obviously,
Without
120. Without losing. You don't want to lose. If you lose, you cry.
Yeah, so the first time you play against Piantissimo, his goal time is always set. He'll give you a time, but then he'll beat it by like a very small amount. So as long as you finish before him, it's good. If you don't finish before him and you lose the race and then you talk to Piantissimo, he will just straight up murder Mario, which loses a ton of time. So
It's a very brutal death.
Toxic.
Live Piantissimo reaction.
Pianta 3 is pretty interesting. This is the one level in the game where it's like bloodless without it being a secret.
Yep.
Don't know why they did that, but it's cool. There are a few exclusive Episode 3 blue coins, because that's something this game loves doing, is like blue coins that only appear in like one episode, which is a hell for casual players.
Yeah. So you're intended to go under the village and do this really annoying platforming section, but we just do a damage boost over the lava here, the lava goop that will burn you to death. And then, yeah, as Jeff mentioned, we need to go pick up some exclusive blues, which this Pianta on fire right now. This is an exclusive blue to Episode 3 only, so SB has to get this detour, to do this detour right now, otherwise they will not be able to get this blue later.
Along with the M's, the M graffitis you've seen him spray, and you're about to see him spray, those ones only appear here.
The M's have been giving me trouble recently.
I almost caught fire chicken.
Yeah, that happens a lot, actually. Very fun to get pooped on.
Overall, that was a pretty clean Pianta 3.
That was good, yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good run so far. Maybe a few minor things, but nothing crazy.
Episode
Pianta
4
4 is
here.
actually where things get interesting.
This
Because I actually ran in some blue coins here.
As Jeff mentioned earlier, right around 2019, when 120 started getting improved heavily with routing, this episode has changed a lot over the past couple of years, where we used to basically not touch any blues in this episode period, but now, because there's a little bit of micro RNG here, based on which route this big chomp goes, SB will pick up a certain blues here, instead of waiting on them for later, which is, of course, a little bit faster in terms of routing.
Right. That waterfall blue used to be what you'd get in Pianta 2. You would leave one of the other M's for Pianta 6, but because it's just faster, it's just better to get it in 4 now and not worry about that M in 6. Really interesting level, honestly. I've yet to like really deep dive into the blues routes here, but I think they're super cool.
And notably, SB got those first 2 blues that SB got right after letting go of the chain chomp. Those are the river blues, which during the night episodes, which are odd numbered, there's water in the river. There's a river. In the day episodes, or the even ones, the river's dried up, so we don't have to be swimming to pick up those blues during the day, which is why it's better to pick them up now instead of, say, like Episode 3, or trying to get them in Episode 8, which is still a day episode, but then it can ruin some cycles later, so...
Yep. In Pianta 5, this is the next RNG checkpoint. I'm gonna steal that phrase from Deathline here. This is a strat you could do here called, I don't know if it's a strat necessarily, but it's called Early Cycle. Basically, you're going to be talking to Piantas here. They throw you. They're all in different walking cycles. There's a lot of science behind it, but to keep it simple, they're just on walking cycles, and you have to get there as fast as you can. And the final Pianta is the one that matters the most. If he's on the optimal walking cycle, you could save about 25, or it's like 20 seconds.
About 20.
Yeah, doesn't get it.
Dude, he was hauling it. SB had really good first 2 RNG. Like, really good.
And that's the thing with this level, is like you could play it perfectly and just lose 20 seconds for no reason. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it happens.
Not as big of a deal in 120 yet, in terms of like, you know, the meta, I guess you could say. Any percent, you pretty much need this world record, I'd say.
Close to it, yeah.
Like, you may as well just reset if you don't at this point.
And then right there, we do an interesting strat where we talk to the guy in reverse. Normally they throw you the direction you're talking, like with the camera, like they throw you that way. But by mashing Y, which is the first person cam, we can get thrown backwards here, which it makes this throw to the final platform way more consistent than talking to them and like being thrown forward towards the shine, because that's really hard to line up.
And now we have Piranha 6. This is actually one of my favorite 120 Shines levels, especially out of the ones that are like from any percent. We're going to be getting a lot of blues here. Each of the adult Piantas, this is a level where you get to clean 10 Piantas. There are 8 adults, and they provide you blue coins, which changes up the route. Not like super much, if at all, really, but we're going to be routing in a few other things with it as well. I think it's a super cool 120 Shines level.
Yeah, there's been a few route variations of the Shine, depending on the strats that you do. Notably, SB here is going to be cleaning off that first lady and then talking to her and getting her to throw her blue coin out. And then we'll be picking up later because we need to come back to her anyways, instead of picking that coin up immediately.
There's been a lot of route changes over the years. We're only going to be getting half of this Pianta link right now. We're going to make the other half in Pianta 8. Just a little faster there. So it's kind of weird, like, to get that up almost, but it is optimal. Gotta trust us. And the rest of this level is pretty similar to what you'd see in any percent from here. We're getting blue coins.
Everyone loves blue money.
The money's pretty cool. It's a Sunshine Community channel point reward now. Not inspired by anything else.
156 is actually a pretty solid time.
It is, yeah.
There was no major or minor mistakes.
What happened there is the second text box to skip. You can talk to those Piantas in the order SB did, and then land on them from above to skip a blue coin. Saves half a second.
Yeah, you land on 2 blue coins on the same frame, and it just gives you 1 text box. And then we're going to do another text box skip here by grabbing the Shine before having the blue coin hit us, and then that'll skip the text box. And if you actually had your memory card plugged in, it'll give you the blue coin save prompt here instead of the Shine save prompt. But
Oh,
since
really?
we don't,
Oh, okay.
it does that there, and I believe on Gelato too as well.
I didn't know that. Today I learned.
But since we normally play without a memory card in, because saving is slow, you don't see that difference because it'll just say you can't save because no memory card.
This will be the final episode of Pianta for now. We get 1 blue here, and it's pretty much because there's literally nowhere else that's better to do it. You still lose like 10 seconds having to route this blue in 7.
That was
But
a good
it's the
quick kill as
fastest
well.
we got.
And this blue is actually a little scary because geometry on this tree is really bad and it's kind of easy to slide off. You saw it happen a little bit right there while SB was running towards the blue, where depending on the angle you're running and certain slope angles, you can get forced into a butt slide, which then it gets kind of hard to like reaction out of that if you're not ready for it. And then taking a death there would be very bad. So
A little bit. Wouldn't be
Somewhat.
optimal.
Somewhat unoptimal.
I'm going to be doing Honey Skip, found by legendary speedrunner Honey SM64, because imagine finding any of our own skips in our own game. Dying on the same frame as entering this cutscene, which opens Pinna Park, which is basically just Shadow Maria sticking his tongue out at us and taunting us, skips that cutscene.
Yep.
So that- 10, 15 seconds? 15 if you're like really optimal, so.
15's like a YOLO, pretty much. Should be also noted, SB got a blue coin there that's called Jelly Skip 1, 1.0, to be precise. Saves a few seconds. It's not the easiest, but when you're been playing 120 for a long time, it's not too bad.
You
Be worse.
risk getting stuck in jelly jail and having to save warp out.
Jelly jail.
So not that you can read it, but what SB did there is pause and then menued up to the bottom option, which is exit area, which normally just kicks you out of the level, which you wonder why would you want to do that. Exiting area when you're about to hit these cutscenes in Pinna 1 actually just skips the cutscene entirely, which this saves about 3 minutes just from doing like 2 inputs, which is actually insane. So very important.
We have the mecha boss fight here, which is it looks like a totally different game almost. Like it doesn't even look like anything we've seen up to this point. A few levels like this. We'll be getting to the second one of these a lot later. Really clean mecha. Yeah, very good.
Which that strat, I mean, in general, the Shine is harder on JP because on JP version, specifically rockets, when they're like on the track there, they actually have collision. Like, so you can shoot a rocket into another rocket, which makes that first shot a little bit more difficult as compared to Pallor and TSEU.
Right.
But yeah, that was very well done from SB.
All right, it's been about 6 or 7 minutes without heavy RNG, so I think it's time we have a little bit more. We got basket blues. So this is Pinna 2. In any percent, you would just rush straight towards the cannonball and do the secret. Here we got to route in some blues that only the cannonball's baskets can open.
The bullet bills, yeah.
Yeah, there's one basket we don't worry about with the cannonball, but we'll be getting to that much later. So this is pretty much just RNG. The thing is, like, the runners have been mitigated enough. It's not, like, impossible to have a pretty good amount of execution. As you can see, there's purple bills. SB did really well with that purple bill. This is very good so far. The purple bills follow you. The black bullet bills kind of go straight. But there's a lot of small manipulations you could do to make them kind of do what you want.
This was actually insane. Like, really, really good RNG and really good gameplay.
Pretty much as perfect as I think you can get on that.
That was crisp.
That was really good, and also got the really quick mole skip. So normally, once he gets too close to the mole, he'll start throwing some bombs at you, and you gotta throw a 3 at him, and then he'll explode and then open the secret. But you can actually just jump in there with him, and then when he's popping back down into the cannon to hide, his damage, like, hitbox goes away, and you can just hit the secret loading zone. So this was probably like the single best Pinna 2 in 120 I've seen in like 3 years. That was
SB,
really
what
good.
would you estimate that segment to be? Like, is that like that's like a low 150? That was like
Yeah, low 150 something.
yeah, it's super good there. Pretty much as good as you could hope for, I'd say. Don't think you could really do much better than that. And now we are moving from an RNG level to a pretty heavy execution level. You can re-enter any of the secrets you beat in this game one more time to do what's known as a hidden red coin shine. There's a button that spawns in each of them. And yep, it is what it sounds like. You get 8 red coins. There's a timer. Some of the hardest and coolest movement-based levels in SMS, I'd say.
And this is, I think, the only one we actually do pre-Corona, and the reason why we're trying to rush Corona as fast as possible, as mentioned earlier by Jeff, to skip event cutscenes. The reason why we do this one early is because of Shine Scrolls, which it takes longer to scroll back to episode 2 later than just doing this Shine now would take, even without the event cutscenes.
SP getting the optimal cycle. I think you can technically get like a 42, but it's a variation of the optimal cycle. Really good, really clean.
42 is too hard.
Yeah, you know what? I consider what you just did to be godlike, so don't worry.
SP makes it look really easy, but this game
that's
is
not easy.
unbelievably prone to dropping inputs.
That strat, those strats right there are hard. I've tried so hard.
It's one of my favorite red coins.
Oh yeah, it's super cool. It's super rewarding when you get it, but it's not easy at all.
And then followed by Pinna 2 reds, we have Pinna 3, which is another pretty movement-heavy shine. A pretty tight cycle here to make some of these blues while doing a shine, so...
Not doing shell strat.
Do shell strat, coward.
Every time I've done it, I've missed the cycle.
It's so hard. It's not easy at all. And
Mostly because I just like missed the spin jump after the first red coin.
Getting the M on the way there is like a 3 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, but like doing the shell and the M is like 8 or 9 probably. It's really, really tight. It's not easy. So we'll be routing in some blues here. There's like a bunch of like Pinna 3 120 developments that make you do like the equivalent of like task Pinna 3 at any percent, but they only save like 2 or 3 seconds net, and they're really hard. So
That's more than good enough.
That was still very clean overall. Those electric Koopas are pretty wide, and you can hit them from like a mile away, so you have to like run kind of right on the edge of the grate there, and it can get a little scary, because if you just dive roll out off the grate, then you're landing in no man's land. You gotta climb back up. And then here's the worst shine in the game.
Oh, Pinna 4. What a great shine.
Worst shine in the game. It's not that bad, but doing it in speedrun terms is just stupid, because I swear to God this shine is RNG, even though it's not.
I feel like that applies to a lot of SMS shines.
There are 5 Snooze Koopas here, and you need to just bait them into ground pounding the sand, and then you ground pound them yourself. They explode and go away, and then we get the shine. To do it fast, we wanted to hit a 1 cycle, which is get all 5 in one go. And just usually waking them up is the hard part, and then you gotta lure them to correct spots. Which we had one hit the grass, which is not good, so aiming for a 2 cycle now.
Wait. No, I missed one.
If you were more center.
You got,
I got 2 of them.
You got shoved. So, unfortunately, the Snooze Koopas do have an active hitbox, and like that can push Mario in the air. And then because of that, I think, and it can also push other turtles, which is really annoying. So SB kind of got scammed out of saving that 1 cycle.
Yep,
just from getting pushed a little bit.
Every extra cycle is about 10 seconds, so it's not the worst, but you don't want to lose 10 seconds. No one likes to lose time.
Yeah.
But not too bad. Understandable mistake, perhaps.
Still sub 9.
Yeah,
that Pinna 2 is just heavily carrying this Pinna, so...
That was a really good Pinna 2.
So, since we're playing 120 shines, we get to collect every shine in the game, so we get to do Pinna 5. We are not doing EYG or early Yoshi Go Round, where we can skip Pinna 5 by getting into the Pinna 6 loading zone early, after completing episode 4. So... we get to do this, and the shine is very chill. Has some, like, insane optimal movement, but that movement's really annoying, so...
Yep.
Otherwise, this is just a pretty chill shine.
We will route in a few blues at the end. And there is a strat you can do called Advanced Ship Movement.
I got dust, so...
I was going to say, SB did not get... Sometimes with the water slides in this game, they're just not always the most... reliable. Just like
it's only like a second, so...
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, advanced ship movement saves pretty much nothing. It's just, it looks cool. It looks cool.
It is optimal, but it's hard.
It's not too bad, but you need your water slide. If you don't get a water slide, SB made the right choice to just kind of not do it.
And then, if you didn't know, you can just kind of hover through the Ferris wheel from the front instead of having to deal with the annoying Koopas on the back. And then, since it's convenient, we're just going to pick up this linked pair here, because why else would we get it anywhere else when we're so close to it right now?
Right. All in all, pretty good.
And
next shine is... I'm sorry.
I was going to say, thankfully SB didn't get scammed by the game. These gondolas on the Ferris wheel are really annoying, and sometimes you just fall right through them for no good reason because of how collision works. So generally you want to like let it hit you instead of you like jumping onto it, which is why SB like just hovered in the air and let it hit him.
Yeah, that prevents that glitch from happening. If you just hover until it hits you.
Next shine is really action-packed. There's a lot that's going to be happening here. For one, we're going to be seeing our friend Yoshi in action for the first time in this game. He's going to want a particular fruit.
Don't get scammed, 1 in 4. It always happens.
Yep, we're going to be spraying this linked here. During that linked cutscene, we're going to be able to see what fruit Yoshi wants. He wants.
Dude, I'm
coconut.
telling you, it's like 90% coconut. This game's rigged.
Hey, coconut's better than pineapple here, so.
Coconut is better than pineapple here, for sure. So
But it's still not papaya.
It's a little annoying. SB did, I believe that strat's called like the paper throw or something. Developed by Paper Oreo. It's not too bad to have to back that up. The bird is that SB just got. It's kind of like that's kind of the hardest part of this level, if you ask me. But it was on cycle. SB didn't have to worry. If you get the pineapple, you need to go through that bird to get it. Meaning that bird is not going to be on a cycle you like, which is why coconut is good here. Well, not good, but
better than that. And
yeah.
And it's important that we get on Yoshi to get that bird, because otherwise you have to spray it down, which it has a HP bar, which spraying it down is really inconsistent and hard. But with Yoshi, you can just eat things and just insta get it out of the way. So getting that like triple jump into the eat the bird saves like honestly like 10 seconds, which is kind of insane.
Like a good butterfly.
Yep. There are butterflies
No,
over
the-
here. Gets the yellow coins
ones are in the
butterflies
way.
as well. Yoshi also has butt slide physics, I guess you could say. If you go into that tree, you get a lot of speed with Yoshi. And moving with Yoshi is really slow, so it's important to take advantage of those when they arise. Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
I was too close to the
A
wall.
little too close. So what SB is trying to do right there is called over the top to the middle, which there's also a variation called over the top to the right and over the top to the left, which the middle is the fastest by like a second. But it requires a little bit of slightly precise positioning for the triple jump.
Not an easy strat.
So that's the
It's
first
like the
death of the
second
run, I think, right?
Technically, honey skip.
Alright, Jeff.
Someone had to do it. Someone had to say. No, it's the first. It's the first step.
Yeah, it happens. Unfortunate, but Sunshine's
Yeah.
hard.
Yep. Sunshine is very, very hard. Video games are hard, as they say.
Thankfully, one more shine here for now, and then we're gonna be off to elsewhere.
Yeah,
Yes,
honestly, not
Devin.
too bad of a Pinna. Besides the death, Pinna it seemed like a pretty decent.
Kind of too carried, honestly.
Yeah,
The
Death
two
was
very
really
much
good.
carried.
SV could have lost like up to a minute, probably even more, depending on how bad bullet bills behave, and just some other things in Pinna 2. But Pinna 7 has also changed a little bit here. We now force Shadow Mario to the right because it's a little bit more convenient for these blue coins over here. And then also Shadow Mario has like slightly more HP in Pinna for whatever reason, so that changes the spam sprays just slightly.
That was pretty clean. If you saw at the beginning, SB like kind of jutted to the left a little bit. It's just a Shadow Mario mimic to make Shadow Mario go right. If you go too far right, he will go to the left.
Yeah.
I
Which
think
is,
every Shadow Mario has variations of that at certain points. Now we will be doing Delfino Shine. This is I don't know if this has an official name. It's called Grass Pipe
Yes.
Redbird.
it has an official name. It is Red Coin Safari in tall grass, I believe.
Fair enough.
So it has a billion names, but yeah, Red Coin Safari in the tall grass, I believe, is like the English name for the shine.
Yep, there are a lot of people growing up who didn't even know the Shine existed, honestly. If this is your first time seeing it, maybe you'll like it. Like I've had friends growing up who are like, I'll show them this sometime, and they're like, "What?" It's very hidden. But here we do it right after Pinna. We do what's known as a Beyblade, right off the cannon to get in there quick, and that was a pretty good grass pipe. The hardest part of that is the red bird at the very start. As Deathline was talking about earlier, birds require a few sprays.
Ooh.
That was
And-
crisp.
That was a swag
That
ending.
That was very good.
And then, what's convenient about Delfino Shines when you collect them is that it'll transport you right back to the very beginning of the hub, which is right here in front of Bianco Hills, and we're going to use that to come over here and get Yoshi now in Delfino Plaza, and do some stuff here with Yoshi. Namely opening Serena here, because casually and intended, you need to have Yoshi eat this giant pineapple that blocks Serena Beach.
Yep. Yoshi and Delfino is like the like whole backbone of some of like the routing discussions in this game, at least for Delfino movement. You used to like go around the whole Delfino Plaza and just get like 5 balloons, but as time has progressed, we've just found more and more ways, like Jelly Skip 1 to get. We'll be seeing Jelly Skip 2 later on. But for now, we are in Serena Beach. It's been a little bit since we had some RNG. It's SMS, so we need a little more.
Never have enough.
Never have enough. We have Manta Ray here. This is one of the coolest bosses in SMS, I think. But there is a lot.
Manta, Jeff.
You know what?
Terminology.
Yeah, whatever.
Doing it to you now.
It is just a Manta, so you gotta spray it until it dissolves, and spraying it makes it break, and then there's a bajillion micro RNG things with the shine. TLDR, you just want to get it down to all the terrible break.
There's one of them.
This is gonna go a little slow.
The good news sorry.
You want to get them down to the small state, as you can see all these little tiny ones going around. Once you get all of them, all the big ones into the medium ones into the small ones, you'll start phase 2, which they start homing in on you.
I actually worked that out pretty well. So.
That was a good fix for what you got.
Yeah. On top of that, in 120 Shines, we grab this blue coin over here, which any split you get, honestly, becomes fine towards the end, because the pink mantas are all going to chase you here. So, whatever happened, the second half of Manta is usually a lot more consistent than, say, an 80%. Yeah. So, finishing up here. Actually, a really good pink phase.
All things considered, SP actually made that split work.
That's as good as I think you could hope for.
There was... What
and
SP was trying to do was...
water.
SP was trying to manip the Manta to turn around, and then SP could stand spray it, but it didn't turn around immediately, which is just one of those micro RNG things about the shine, so it was a very good fix for what happened.
Alright, I don't have water.
I have no water.
I forgot. Look, Mara's looking up. For whatever reason. Weird things happen when you run out of water in this game.
Yeah. If you like blue coins, the next, 4 minutes are not for you. We don't get too many blue coins here in Serena Beach on our first visit. We will pick up a handful, but nothing extreme here.
Serena is pretty close to any percent in 120, at least the first half is. So, if you like any percent shines, then this is your lucky, I don't want to say day, lucky period of 5 to 6 minutes.
We pick up 9 here, I think, on first visit, which per level there are 30 blues, and then there's 20 blues in Delfino Plaza plus the airstrip.
You get 20 in Serena 7 hundos, which we'll be doing later. Here we got Serena 2. This is considered to be one of the harder secrets in SMS, I'd say.
Yeah, pretty long and painful if you die at the end.
And side flip's gonna be annoying.
Wow, side flips. SP spins there into that final block to keep the momentum in the air so he can continue wall jumping, because otherwise, if you don't do that, Mario just does not get a wall jump off the side there. So, and then we're gonna do a momentum spin jump here off this cog since it's a slanted surface. Very clean.
You could technically categorize that strat into a risk reward type of thing, but every top runner goes for it. To be honest. It's not, unless you get unlucky, it's pretty easy. I don't say easy, but kind of easy. I don't know. It's a weird strat.
Don't drop the spin input, yeah.
Yep. Start at 3. Casually, this level takes like like 2 minutes or something. You have to go find a pineapple for Yoshi, but here we are going to just skip all of that and do a clip with a banana.
Which, this is one of the older skips in the game that was found pretty early on in its speedrunning history. I think it was your boy Graham found this in like early 2010s era. So, and it was a very good find. What happens when Mario throws a fruit? It kind of displaces him a little bit and pushes him back, and because of that, we just clip right through the glass there. And that mechanic of throwing a fruit and getting pushed back is used in a few other places now, as the years have gone by, where it was basically only used right there in the run.
Yep, it's a big like bingo thing as well. Lots of strats come from fruit knockback, and also just smaller categories, a bunch of category extensions. Up next, we get to see like a really cool sub area, being the casino, and we normally casually you'd have to like spray a bunch of panels, and it's horrible.
Double roulette into the worst tile flipping game you will ever play in your life, but once again, another early skip found in SMS.
This had to have been super early. Like I remember doing this like in my casual playthroughs. Yeah.
Get up here and just skip all of that because there's no wall on the top ceiling. So that straight up saves like a minute at the fastest, I would say, maybe a minute and a half if your tile flipping goes terribly.
Oh no.
Oh no. SB is actually on 0 lives right now, I believe, so it's a little spooky.
Uh-oh. I'll just do safe strats then.
Everyone is watching.
Don't hit the invis wall, please.
SB is famous for bonking on something that no one else has ever bonked on in this level.
Okay.
69.
Nice.
So SB does need to be careful from here, or can save at any point, or else.
Get the elevator one up. Make Jeff happy.
Does that make me happy?
That is slow though.
Hey, there's the box life at the start of Star as well.
Oh yeah.
So back to more RNG. This is one of the probably the single biggest chokehold, just because it comes usually in the middle or the late end of the run, depending on what category you play. This is King Boo, which you get to play more slot machines, and it is not fun in the slightest. Also, exclusive episode blue here, behind the start, which, yeah, you have to pay attention and turn around, which you don't even think about here, to get this M.
And, yep, more RNG. It's time. King Boo is probably, like, one of the worst instances of RNG in SMS. It's very, very possible to just lose, like, a minute. I mean, maybe not a minute, but you could if you're, like, really you could lose up to a minute here.
Yeah.
SB's
Good
run, PB, actually, has, like, 40 seconds lost to King Boo here. Is that correct?
Ooh, no, that's a terrible thing with what just happened.
Bro.
So SB
Getting trolled.
So first off, they got Fruit Cycle, which is good. What happened there is you need to throw a pepper into King Boo's mouth and then hit him with another fruit while he's on fire. There's these little like divots between each ring here on the roulette that we're standing on. And if you throw a fruit like right when you hit that divot, it can go a different direction, which is what happened to SB.
That was good though.
So far, getting a good RNG though.
Yeah.
You're forced to get 2 cycles where you don't get fruit in between the fruit cycles. So anything other than that is an extra. So far, not getting any cycles here. We get bubbles, which you know, they're not too bad, but they can be kind of...
Bubbles are usually okay because the cycle auto cancels really quickly compared to other things, but bubbles are just annoying to deal with. So.
SB does get perfect RNG though, so can't complain
Thanks up for
too
that.
much.
Serena 4.
Yeah, Serena 4 death plus kind of trolled on some of the fruit throws here. But, I mean, better than getting extra cycles, which every extra cycle is roughly 7 seconds or so. So if you get, 2 or 3, even more than that, it adds up really quickly.
So, only 2 more shines in Serena for now. We'll be doing Serena 6 here, which is probably the most diverse, like any percent Serena Shine. We're going to be... It's kind of like Piano 6. You're cleaning off the beach, and there are going to be 4 NPCs. No keys that give you blue coins. Pretty cool level. I like this level personally.
This is another shine that has version differences where... So JP is universally the fastest because it does also load slightly better, along with having some pretty good text speed in terms of how many text boxes, which PAL is the next fastest because you can change the language setting to Italian, which has the least amount of text boxes, and then English is the worst. But English and PAL are actually... English is the best on only Serena 6 because it has 2 text boxes at the start, and you get to clean only 95% of the beach, whereas PAL has a bajillion text boxes, and JP requires you to clean 99% of the beach. And then another bad mechanic is that the visual for the goop here doesn't match its hitbox 100% of the time, so you can have little pixels of goop that aren't visually there, but the hitbox is, which we call invisible goop, and that still counts towards things you need to clean. So you can see a clean beach here, and then the timer's still running, and you'll just see the runner just scampering frantically to find some invisible goop they missed. So,
Goo 8 is actually very good for 120 standards.
So, well played while I was explaining that.
Yep, very well done. Can't complain too much with that. Usually optimal any percent segments 225 or above.
Yeah, for JP.
For JP. Could be a lot higher if you're on PAL or in TCU, which is dwindling numbers nowadays. A lot of speedrunners just play JP nowadays.
It's very accessible to get a JP copy.
Yep, it's actually cheaper. It's actually cheaper than NTSC or PAL, so...
And then lastly, we'll be doing Shadow Mario here once again, and then picking up 1 blue coin, since it's convenient while we wait for the shine to fall back down into place and be tangible.
There's a funny glitch that can happen here, where if you spawn this cutscene while you're on top of the shine, the game just crashes.
That wouldn't be so funny if that happened.
Yeah, there's a small issue here. If you down Shadow Mario on the stairs on very, very specific pixels, you will instantly zip after talking to Shadow Mario.
I had that happen to me on Pace once. It was awesome. Super happy. All right, SB going into Noki. This is the last world in the 80% portion. Oh wait, no, it's not. Never mind. We changed routes. I think.
Yes.
I lied. I'm thinking about the old route. We got one more one after this. Sorry. Didn't mean to debate everyone.
We're in Noki 1, which is arguably one of the most just technical shines in terms of just pressing buttons without it failing.
Good way to put it.
In the entire game.
Yeah.
On top of collecting these 2 blues in 120. There's a lot that can go wrong here, and you need to hit a lot of precise side flips and spin jumps here to go fast and make a good cycle.
Making the optimal cycle in 120 is a lot more lenient, I'd say, than in any percent, but it's still not something that's going to be easy. That seemed to be pretty good. I think that's optimal.
Yeah, that was first cycle.
And then each cycle there is only about 4 seconds difference, so it's not too big of a deal if you miss a cycle, but just time spent is time spent, so.
As
That was a overall good Noki one.
Oh, I tried to be cool.
I think it's cool. But yeah, Noki is pretty similar to Serena in the sense that there are a lot of shines similar to any percent, at least in this first half. Second half, you end up getting a lot more blues. So maybe not as drastic as that. But next few shines, just going to be getting a handful here or there. Noki 2 is another very technical shine. A lot of spin jumps, side flips, you name it.
And then,
pretty cool.
thanks to, as we mentioned earlier with the fruit throws, throwing the spring up against this corner here and just holding up against the wall displaces Mario through the wall, and then we just clip through it to the shine, which normally you're supposed to go up on top of this hill and go beat Gooper Blooper, which we would have met in Rico had we gone to Rico first. And then we just don't do that, and instead save like, I don't know, 30 seconds? 40 seconds?
That's alright.
Something like
Sounds
that.
about right to me. Next shine is Noki 3. You are unable to explore Noki, so in this shine specifically, so don't have to worry about any blue points here. Rolling into a bottle here, and I'm going to be getting some red coins. So, pretty cool level. Pretty cool level idea. A lot of text boxes here. One of those shines that there are less text boxes on NTSU, I believe, or more.
I think there's less on English, like 2 or something like that.
There's less, but I think it scrolls slower.
Oh, that's interesting. This is another type of mechanic we'll be seeing a few times, only in Noki, where Mario is completely submerged in water. He gets a little, like, cute helmet. Only 3 shines like this in the game. We will be sure to point them out as we go along. Honestly, kind of difficult controls in general, but if you practice it, it's not too bad.
Yeah, there's mainly the important strat here on that 7th coin is when you're in water, when you land, if you're dead neutral on the stick, Mario cancels all of his momentum, but if you're even holding the stick slightly, Mario will carry the momentum when landing, which you don't want to be carrying momentum into that 7th coin because it takes a lot of time to like hold back on the stick and cancel out all that momentum. So holding neutral there is really good and saves like 2-3 seconds over not. Yep. So it's an important strat to do.
Noki 4 is going to start off with quite an interesting strat. So typically the blue coin we're about to see, you'd have to like go all the way down and swim, which swimming in this game is really slow. So we're going to be clipping out of bounds here, and if you clip back in at the right time, you're going to see the blue coin I was just talking about, which we can now do jump dives to. Honestly, a pretty difficult strat to get down. We're going to be doing a little Beyblade over here to get us into the loading zone. Eel is one of those shines that's changed quite a bit in terms of 120 in recent times. We used to just go straight down to Eel and get the Eel Blues, which SB's getting right now in Episode 8. But now we get 3 Eel Blues in Episode 4 and 1 in Episode 8 due to the Noki 8 cycle. So, that's long words from me.
Yeah. That strat that SB did with flipping under the water is also a little dangerous because you need to be holding like neutral on the stick when you flip. If pulling a direct direction, things can go kind of bad, and then you can also potentially soft lock down there. Mm-hmm. And really the hardest part is knowing when to dive back into like inbounds, quote unquote, because depending on when you dive, that sets your water level down there. And if you're too high water level, you're like super screwed, and if you're too low, then it becomes really hard to collect the blue and get back up. So
yeah, it's not easy. And then Eel itself, known to be one of the more frustrating shines in any percent. So he will be going for what I assume is 6 Tooth. I'd be surprised if he didn't go for 6 Tooth, honestly. You can try to spray the goal is you want to spray as many teeth as you can during the first cycle. Technically 7 Tooth is possible. No one really does an RTA except for like 2 people.
And then
Cutscene skip here. If you take damage as that last tooth is cleaned, you can skip 15 seconds. A cutscene.
which it's more so not even skipping the cutscene, it's skipping the set spawn location out of watching the cutscene. Because the animation from Eel is still playing, but you can now just move down to where the shine lands. If you watch that cutscene normally, it spits you up like a little bit ways above where the eel was, and then you have to float back down, and that time is about 15 seconds. So very clean Noki 4 overall. And then now we get kind of a glorified auto-scroller. That we will collect a couple of blues here, but otherwise, mostly
I'm still scared that I have 0 lives.
Yeah,
You should save.
Yeah, I'll save on the shine.
Alright, good. I was gonna like, I didn't want to tell you to. I don't want to be toxic, but I think you should.
Noki
Just
6
in
is
case.
suspect on 0 lives.
Noki
I'll
6
settle
is
it.
suspect on like 3 lives.
There's
Can't be.
Well, shortly after, I will be getting the 1-up in Bianco 6, but Noki 6 is still
yeah.
a bit
Harusrl.
sussy.
Man, I can't believe I entirely forgot about Rico.
So yeah, this is the second Piantissimo Shine that we're doing, Noki 5. Well, there's one more later that we'll come back to in Gelato. In any percent, really, it's just fool around until that Piantissimo finishes because he's on a set timer. But here in 120, we need to just go finish fast enough, or quickly, and then go spend some excess time picking up some of these ruin blues, since there's a ton of blues over in this area that we want to try and get some of, so we can come back to it later and not have to pick up all of them.
Yep. Noki 6, we are going to be picking up quite a bit of blues. You could really get them in Noki 6 or in the Hidden Shine later, Noki 6R. Doesn't really matter. But, yep, we're going to be routing in some blues here. This is one of the new route changes. Used to not get any of these and do them all in hundos, but because there's a new hundos route now, we now choose to route these in episode 6 or 6R for those people who do it in 6R.
And then, as mentioned earlier, some of the harder secrets, Noki 6 is arguably the hardest secret in the game just because of how long it is and how difficult the strats become based on how fast you want to be in the secret. There is so unbelievably much that can go wrong in Noki 6, so... But if you do it really fast, it looks really cool and you save a lot of time, so there is that.
Just routing in more of these rune blues. Micro routing is one would say.
Jeff's favorite term.
And now we'll be entering the shell secret. This is very much a cycle-based level. Optimally, runners go for what's known as green cycle, or what people used to call it like a million years ago, ham cycle. I don't know.
Boomers.
Yeah, the boomers used to call it that. SB gets it. Oh, goodness.
Ooh,
Not
I
punished.
saved.
Yep. I mean, overall, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, dropped an input, but wasn't punished for it, thankfully.
That could have been way worse.
It could have been a 3-minute time loss or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, SB wanted a spin jump dive, but dropped the spin
Yeah.
input and only got
Yeah,
a jump
I
dive.
spinned way too early before I jumped, so... Not so good.
But thankfully, the jump dive was right under the platform and kind of just went through. So, and then OP7, Shadow Mario. There is a quick kill here right at the front. If you don't get Shadow Mario down really quickly, this can become a pain since he likes to jump all over the place and becomes hard to catch. And then You can't be fooling around here because if you sidestep into the shine right here on the quick kill location, it'll clip you out of bounds, and it'll act like you got the shine, but you actually didn't since you never touched solid ground. You fell into water, and then you can no longer pick up the shine, and you have to exit area. So now one of the major 120 changes over the years is Fruit Ladies in Delfino Plaza. These Fruit Ladies, there's 4 of them, one for banana, one for pineapple, one for durian, and one for coconut, all spread out across the plaza. And this has been a huge, like, focus point of routing around these Fruit Ladies. So we combo together pineapple and durian lady at the same time, since convenient to do so. And this is the quote-unquote Fruit Ladies early route, where we do these ones now instead of post-Corona. And then durians are annoying because you can only kick them, you can't grab them like other fruits, so they can go in a variety of directions based on how you hit them, and if you kick them with a dive, or with a hover, or just walking into them and jumping. So SB opted to just dive into them and hit them off the backboard of the Shrine Gate.
Durian Lady is pretty infamous for being really difficult casually. But SB gets it pretty well here. And we're going to be wrapping up this segment with a Delfino Shine. If you saw when SB got that M, he got a coin with it as well. This Chuckster asks for a singular coin. We used to do a strat called DeLorean to skip this, but since you're right here and you have that coin, you may as well just talk to him now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about the same speed. Because then you get to do box game right after Pianta, the revisit.
Yeah. And again, as I mentioned earlier, Delfino Shine spit you right back in front of Bianco Hills, which we use that to come back to this now and do episodes 6 and 7, since we need to complete episode 7 to get into Corona.
We leave Bianco when we do instead of doing all the way to Shadow Mario right away, just because at 5 Shines, as you remember, Gelato was opened. So just getting rid of those event cutscenes, and we finally found the time to come back here. So we're back.
Yeah, which in the olden days of any percent, you could opt to do Bianco 6 and 7 early, because Bianco 6 is a pretty long and can be pretty tough when you're new to speedrunning this. And we used to call that German route, which that route would only lose 5 seconds-ish on those 2 event cutscenes for doing these 2 shines early. So
I will finally have a life.
Yeah, safety life here.
Safety
I've
life.
finally gotten a life.
I'm proud of you, SB.
I knew you could do it. So yeah, there's this long section right here with this block that has to go vertically for like a mile, and dying here at the top is really bad because it's like half an auto scroller for the secret.
It's probably the most punishing time loss. I mean, it's up there. But yep, SB gets it. Only a few secrets left in the run. By a few, I mean 2. So making pretty good progress.
2, yeah, 2.
Gelato 1 after Rico 4. But yep, now we're going to be doing Bianco 7. Again, this is just a Shadow Mario. There's a cute little quick kill you can do here that isn't too risky to go for. If you miss it, you can just back it up. You just do a little rollout at the top and try to get it in one spam spray. See, Betsby gets it.
Okay.
Nice.
He gets it. Let's go. The crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Good Fruit Ladies.
Good Fruit Ladies, good Shadow Mario. Shadow Mario has changed over the years, where normally you just chase him down and spray him and get his hidden health bar down, but spam spraying, as we like to call it, like the shotgun blast, as the Prima guide calls it, or whatever it calls that, does like a ton of damage, and in certain cases can just one-shot Shadow Mario.
And now we'll be entering the last any percent world of the run. Rico Harbor. This used to be like a mid-game world, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in 120 it's just mid-game anyway. You know what I mean. Rico 1, there are a few Rico 1 exclusive M's here, which we will be picking up, and then just getting some quick ones along the way.
And Submarine is also episode 1 exclusive.
Yes, it is. It is probably one of the slowest blues in the game. It's not a super fun blue, but we gotta get it. We're getting everything. So.
What, my Beatles reference?
Yeah, Yellow Submarine, please. Everyone smile. Stop long.
It's worth the 10 seconds.
I didn't even know this was here as a kid, honestly. So. Yeah, now we are going to fight off our good friend. I don't know if we consider him a good friend. He's trying to kill
100!
us. 100 blues. This used to be the part in the route where you have like 69 blues. In the old days of 120.
So yeah, we skipped this pool in Noki 2, but we gotta do this here in Rico. This is Gooper Blooper. Got some ink on his face, so we gotta spray it off so we can easily grab his nose, and then let go, let it snap into his face, take some damage. A surprising amount of people don't know that you can let go of his nose when he starts squealing. I know a ton of casual players will just go back as far as they can until the game automatically snaps the nose back. So
I did that in my first couple runs because I didn't know. It's funny.
And once you get comfortable with Rico 1 and later Rico 5, you can just do it on a visual cue instead of the audio cue, and when you do it fast enough, you can get Screamless, where the blooper doesn't even make the squealing noise, but is still within the range of taking damage, which is like, saves like frames, but it's pretty cool to get.
So re-entering here, we typically in any percent you would do this intro blooperless. But here we're actually going to be writing the blooper because there is a Rico 2 exclusive blue coin above the water, which we have to get. So we're going to be going old school here. SB takes the yellow blooper because I believe you don't want to bonk on the Pianta, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a few times. Typically everyone gets on the green, but like yellow is fine for the segment. Just no time loss. And we will be doing blooperless. You used to have to ride the blooper on this, and now you can do this cool, elaborate movement. Saves like 3 seconds, but it is cool.
As SP proceeds to drop inputs and then not save that time, it is fine for now. Yeah, there's 2 checkpoints here. One in the middle, and then one over there at that corner that you need to hit. 19 is still very good here.
Yep, as long as you get sub 21, I believe you're saving time with it, so you're good. Save time. Yeah, honestly, like, blooper riding is not even that slow. Like, I think Delfino used to do it, like, until recently, right?
Yeah, it's not that slow. It's faster to get on the blooper at the start instead of doing the movement to get on top of the wall there, but you also run the risk of dying when you're on the blooper, which you don't really run the risk of dying when you're doing blooperless. You just run the risk of not hitting the checkpoints properly, which is an easy fix.
Here we have Rico 3. You're supposed to casually go through all this, like, this whole maze, and there's grates and a million different things you gotta go through, but here we are just gonna do a little trick, get us right to the shine.
I still don't understand why they intended for you to do all that when they just literally made that flip grate on the bottom of the yellow cage, but who knows?
It's actually patched in Sunburn.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, with an extra grate, so the flip grate was top down only, and you couldn't go back up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, it's one of the spray ones, right?
It's a ground pound one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hard shine, frame perfect, all that fun stuff.
Yep, exactly.
Rico 4, one of the last secrets we'll be seeing. This one is not too bad, but it is cycle-based, and to make the fastest cycle, you need to be pretty precise with your movement, which is, a lot of this is just dive rollouts here, and a few jump dives, so...
Yep. This middle jump can be a little scary. Gotta space your final spin jump dive pretty well. But SB doesn't have anything to worry about there. Just gonna finish up this secret. Pretty good. And yeah, we only have one secret left in the run after this.
Very clean.
Very clean indeed. And Rico in general is actually not too different from any percent. You really only get a few blues through.
Yeah, just the exclusives mostly, and then like a handful of convenient blues.
All the Rico blues, well, most of them are like next to coins, so you get them in hundreds.
Mm-hmm. Kind of what I mentioned earlier, all the way back in Bianco 5, with how you get some blues then because it's just more convenient than it is earlier, even though you're standing right next to the blue. Because there's a blue on the crane that SB jumped on for episode 3, but we get it in hundreds, so...
Yep. Even though it's right in your face in 3, it's technically just faster to get it in Hundo. As there's like a few blues like that in this game. That, you would think you would just get it in that episode, but... And here we have a boss rematch with Hooper Blooper again. Nothing is different about this fight at all, except he is on a helicopter pad in the middle of the ocean.
He does new attacks that we don't see.
Does he? I don't know.
He does the helicopter, the spin.
Yeah, you know what? I'll trust you on that. I believe you. I just never
he
have
spits
gotten
goop while
that.
doing it.
Yeah, if you're seeing it in a speedrun, things have gone terribly wrong.
So yeah, 2 more shines in the 80% portion to go.
Rico 6 is pretty fun, but also kind of scary, because you can lose quite a bit of time if something goes wrong, or take a death if things go extra wrong.
I've been known to die here
Are you? Okay.
in the past.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, it's riding the blooper. You're going full speed. You will die if you crash into a wall. If you're not holding neutral. We're gonna be routing in this blue coin here. Technically, you can get this in 2, but it is slower. So we just route it in 6.
And then the important part to know when playing Rico 6 is that the hitbox you need to hit the coin with is not Mario, but actually the blooper that you're riding upon. So if you're like turning and Mario is like leaning and you go through a coin and it doesn't grab and you're like, WTF, that's why, because you need to hit it with the blooper, because that's where the hitbox is now. And then this jump right here is kind of scary.
Yep.
Since we're going from the back, you need to be careful to not hit the umbrella or like hit the platform and die. Some runners opt to do a full jump there and land on top of the umbrella, which is like gets rid of the blooper as well, I believe.
I'm actually on gold pace, if I have a good spider.
Let's go. Let's go, gold face.
Spider, please.
Yeah, Rico 7 is another Shadow Mario, but there is one spider to route in, as you'll be seeing here. Which is a little bit of RNG, I believe, but the faster you get there, the higher odds you have of... Like, it's pretty high odds.
Usually it behaves, so...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, the faster you get there, unless you're, like, unlucky, it'll get there.
It did not
A
behave.
little bit unlucky there, but it's not that bad.
No, that's fine.
So yeah, if you want the clamber there or the spider to be next to that flip panel, because when it does, if it is close enough and you hit that panel, it'll knock it out and then it'll give you the blue coin. But if it's too far, then you gotta go across and hit it from the other side, which loses a couple seconds.
So defeating all 7 Shadow Marios activates this exact flooded Delfino scene. You don't have to beat Bowser here, as you will see. But if you re-enter Corona and exit, you're going to be able to go back into the what's known as the New Game Plus Plaza. But because there are 10 exclusive Corona Blues, SB is going to be getting them now instead of later, so we can trade without having to visit this twice. Or 3 times, I should say.
Yeah. And these blues are... The first one is no strings attached, it's just right on the platform in your face, but SB is doing fast Corona right now for this first half, which is pretty tight. That saves the cycle here. And then a lot of the second half, these the blues are all around final platform, but over the lava, which is actually just water, but textured as lava, and has a death point on it. So you need to collect some of these blues with the boat, but controlling the boat and still going fast is really difficult.
Yeah. Top runners usually know how to handle it. SB, of course, is a top runner. SM27 is known as well for being pretty good at this. It's very, very difficult. Takes a lot of practice to get down.
Mindide, former world record holder for 120, kind of vamped up the speedboat YOLO strat here.
That does sound like today.
You kind of noticed that SB was at the back of the boat and like would spray to the right, and the boat would go right, and you think it would go the other direction. And that's just one of the expertise things you have to know when handling the boat is, depending on where you are on the boat, spraying certain directions will make the boat go different ways. And then the rest of these we can just get with some well-placed movement. Here, SB is going to plug in the memory card, because when you plug in the memory card and cancel that text box, you keep your hover, but if you don't have a memory card in like that, it doesn't work, and you'll lose your hover. So we plug in a memory card, hit continue playing, no save, and then we land on the little spire there, and you can exit area without taking a death. But taking a death is only losing like 6 seconds-ish, so not a big deal if you take that death. And we are now in the second half of 120. We are going back to Pianta Village since it is right next to Corona. And we're going to be starting off with hundreds.
Yep. As long as you don't see a banana there, you start hundreds. If you do see banana, you have the option to re-enter episode 5. Any other fruit besides banana is fine. It's beginning pineapple. Oh goodness! Oh no! Oh my god! Dude, that was wild.
What the heck was that throw?
So SB got one of the really speed bounce throws, which with pineapple is one of the fruits that you can throw the farthest, and kind of got lucky with some of those bounces, because otherwise that pineapple would have gone off the edge. So that was
I thought it was screwed there.
Really close to just losing like 30 seconds, 20 seconds for no.
I will take it.
We're going to be seeing a pretty cool trick here. This is fairly new, and by fairly new, I mean like 3 years old or something, probably older.
And also, can't do this on English because of how dismounting Yoshi worked on JP.
Yeah, it was really quick there, but if you dismount Yoshi, there's like a little barrier between the top half of the Pianta and the bottom half. And you can flip it back up with the dismount and get through the top. It only saved a few seconds. It feels like that should save a lot more than it does, but it's still a very cool strat.
Yeah, so on PAL in English, you just do this route a little differently, where you go down and get some mushroom coins first, and then come up here with Yoshi. And then, as Jeff mentioned, it only saves a couple of seconds with the way JP does it. Really clean beehive there. That was really good.
Pretty good hundreds. Pineapple was a little tragic, but not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, pretty good. Every world has one of these hundreds, so we'll be seeing them everywhere, except for Corona. Can't do it in Corona, unfortunately. It's like 2 coins there. So we'll be re-entering here. There are 3 more shines to go. Each world visit is not too long. There's only 3 or 4 shines in each, but they're pretty long shines, so it balances out. And then there's Gelato, which has like 20 minutes worth of shines.
Where am I going? It's not
where-
correct.
Which
You know what?
shine are you
I was
doing? What shine
I
are you
was
doing?
wondering. I was wondering, like, which shine should I start
I'd like-
commentating?
I'm monkey brained to doing Pianta 4 movement.
You just
Go
saw
ahead.
this daylight. You're like, Pianta 8. This is probably one of the like longest shines casually. It's super cool. 8 red coins throughout this world here. We're gonna be routing in a few blue coins, of course. There is an exclusive blue in episode 8, which we'll be seeing later on. And this is where we get that second half of the linked. This is also fairly new. We're going to be going past the beehive here, which isn't too bad. A little riskier than it looks.
There has been a number of casualties here where the bee bodies you and then you fall off the edge of the U village and take a death. So, but normally if you just run right through it quickly, the bees are still in the beehive and you'll be fine.
This bird is only in episode 8, and that was really good. Oh my
That
god.
was an insane snipe on that bird.
That was really clean. Wasn't for that like start, this would actually be a really good Pianta 8.
There was the first instance of rocket storage. With both the rocket nozzle and the turbo nozzle, missed the coin. You can store their propulsion by like exiting an animation. So what we do with the rocket is we go into sidestep and let go of sidestep right before the rocket goes off, and that stores that rocket propulsion. And then as long as you go back into sidestep and go off a ledge, you'll get the rocket. So we use that to go all the way to the shine cloud here instead of the intended way, which is on top of the tree. There are these fluffs, or these giant like dandelion things, and then that's on a cycle. And if you miss that cycle, it's like 30 seconds to get to the next one. So
Shout outs to Floobless levels.
So this rock storage basically removes the entire cycle point of Pianta 8, which is really nice.
We'll be re-entering 5 here to do the hidden red. As I said earlier, you can opt to this earlier if you get the banana RNG, since you could see Yoshi and make the decision to go here and hope you don't get banana for the second time around, which is pretty cool. This is one of the weirder hidden reds. You do still have to talk to a few chucksters, or I think literally just one chuckster, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Which that one you need to talk to has an annoying mechanic here. We'll see if it happens. SP is an expert and can probably avoid it. Yes.
Pretty good.
So, an annoying thing that can happen with that specific chuckster is sometimes you'll hear a blue coin noise. But other times, if you go too quickly through talking through a chuckster, you'll get thrown a different direction because the chuckster is not completely turned around talking to Mario yet. So spraying the chuckster usually avoids that happening as well, on top of the coin effect not happening. Not guaranteed to be thrown in the wrong direction if you hear the coin, but it does happen more often when you do hear it. So.
It just closes the text faster, and you have to be aware of it.
Yeah. Clean count of 5 reds. That was a
Pretty good.
over sub, or not a 59, which is pretty fast.
Here is our first instance of a hidden shine that isn't in the secret. There are a few hidden shines that you can get by just interacting with the world. We're going to be going up to the tree here and spraying the sun. Now, you might think this is completely random and BS, and you're kind of right, but there's like one NPC in this level, I think, out of like the millions down there, who does tell you about this.
Yes.
So if you talk to like 30 NPCs, find the right one. It's your lucky day, you get this shine.
Casually, you kind of are supposed to learn that this platform right here with this shine spray on it is the highest point in the game. Which then you spray the sun, and then it's also supposed to reflect that you spray the sun here for the shine in episode 8 when it's day, and then during the night episodes, all the way back in Pianta 3, SB sprayed the moon on top of that gold mushroom, and that popped the blue coin. So...
And
Now that
routing. Oh,
done
sorry.
with. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say now that we're done with Pianta Village, SP's gonna jump down here really quick and come do box game 1, which there is another one shortly after.
Hey, there's technically 2 more box games after this.
Yeah, but 1 doesn't give us the shine that we need.
So that's a very new routing development, like within the past few months, I'd even say. I think SM27 focus on that. We're going to be doing a few Delfino Shines here. What SB is doing right now is the second of the 2 jelly skips I alluded to earlier. We're going to be getting these 2 sewer blues on the way. We used to get these like at the very start of the run. But if you get those 2, you line yourself up, you're able to rocket up to this lighthouse blue. Not lighthouse blue, but blue near the lighthouse, and from there, just quick to do lighthouse. Very clean.
So clean. Another important thing with that that ground pound brick is if you ground pound it on the edge of the brick instead of in the center, you can still get another rocket jump immediately after that. Because otherwise, if you're in the center, Mario like finishes like the ground pound kind of, and then he doesn't get the charge anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which just doing on the edge saves a couple seconds because you back up in the air by the shine.
Yep. And right now we're going to be doing technically another jelly skip. You really want to be precise about it, but not really. Normally you're supposed to go all the way here with Yoshi and ride a bunch of boats and portable. But we found ways to skip this as speedrunners over the years. What SB is doing right now is using the pushback from a banana to flip through the pipe. Gets it first try, and you need to skip a lot of BS.
And then another important point that I want to point out with the whole like rushing any percent into Corona, when you do that and you go into Corona, you don't actually need to go chase down Shadow Mario because at 25 shines after unlocking Yoshi in the plaza, he'll be carrying the turbo nozzle, and at 30, he'll be carrying the rocket nozzle. By just going into Corona, we skip having to do that entirely, and then we are gifted the boxes at the front of the plaza. So that's another important point of why we're doing Delfino stuff after visiting Corona the first time.
Yep.
This Delfino visit is mainly just rocket stuff, and then I'll be going to Bianco.
Yep. Getting a lot of the hard stuff out of the way, just in general. I don't know if you plan that or not. You can really do Delfino Shines, like, as long as you, like, have the certain, like, starts and ends, you could really do your own kind of Delfino movement, or routing, I should say.
Yep.
Right bell, what that shine is called. It's the bell on the right. It's the only reason, really, I think. Yeah, that was great commentary. You're welcome.
And then next up, we're gonna go do Shine Gate, which we take a shine out of the Shine Gate just to put it back in based on the lore.
Makes a lot of sense.
Which
There's some
there's
dirt on it.
Yeah. Some grime. In other categories, such as 20 shines, which is just quote 20 shines as fast as possible, you can grab this, you can spawn the shine and then go clip out of bounds in a box game, and then you can actually get the shine without needing the rocket nozzle, which is pretty cool.
Fun fact, I just golded that by 2 seconds.
Let's go. Let's go. Love to see it. We're returning back to Bianco. Stepline said a few times now, Delfino Shines put you in front, so it makes sense to start here. Bianco's second half in 120 Shines is it's known to be extremely difficult at a top level. Starting off here, we're going to be doing Bianco 8, which isn't too bad by itself. Very technical shine, a lot of rope movement we're going to be seeing along with rocket stuff. We'll be routing in that enemy. I once saw someone swim. You see that like reflection of that red coin? I once saw someone swim and try to get it. And there was no red coin there. It was sad.
So this jump right here that SB did is actually a lot more difficult than it looks, just because the depth perception up here is really bad. And while ropes do kind of like have a black hole gravity effect where they'll suck Mario in, you can definitely just miss the rope entirely, and missing ropes sucks in this episode, so...
You can even, like, kind of phase through them, honestly. Yeah. Gonna be routing in this enemy here. Fianco is one of the other worlds that has received a lot of routing developments in the past few years. Although Bianco has been kind of set in stone for a bit now. I don't think there's been too much new here recently. What should be noted here is, as mentioned quite a bit ago, you can enter any of the secrets in Bianco in any level after their respective episode. So SB is going to want to do Bianco 3R and 6R, the hidden reds. He can just enter episode 8 for both of them. He's also doing this to see if he can get a better Yoshi fruit, since you're also going to want to start hundreds here, so you get 4 chances to
What
get
is happening?
coconut RNG here, which is optimal.
SB got a little bit scammed on the jump out of the tree and then got a bad wall jump there. So we come up here to get this bird, which SB just managed to miss every water droplet. I don't know how.
I was pretty lucky and unlucky at the same time. Like, it's pretty impressive that all the water missed.
Yeah.
That's a miss.
SB is going to be doing Bianca 6R first, so we're getting some of the remaining village blues. This circle linked pair only appears in episode 7 and episode 8. So that blue right there is episode 6 and onwards. This one is 5 and onwards. This one back here behind where PD was sitting in episode 5. This one is 6 onwards. So there's a lot of late episodes exclusive blues. And then here we're going to be doing a very creative rocket storage over this hill and wall to get this coin way the heck over here by Fianco 8 coins.
Oh, that's tight. Yeah.
I do not trust my angle.
One thing that's notable about Bianco is you can get all 30 of the blue coins in episode 8. I believe that's like the only world where that's the case. You can get all of them in one episode. Besides, I think you can get all 30 in Noki 6. No, you can't because of the blues. I lied, sorry. So it's pretty unique for that reason, so it gives us the freedom to route really whatever we need to in the speedrun.
And then this is probably the single hardest, maybe I would say at least top 3 hardest shines in 120. Is doing Bianco 6 reds with the rocket nozzle. This is really scary and really difficult.
So far, so good. Yeah, this is a fairly new development. I don't know if fairly new, but I think it's been known you can do this for a while, but integrated into RTA somewhat recently. SB nails it, gets a really good time, but still has to clutch out the ending. It's not over just yet here. Let's go. Very good.
Nice.
That was really well done.
Really clean here. He gets 2 more tries to see if he can get coconut RNG for Yoshi, or banana. Banana's not too much slower.
And it should be noted that in that secret, turning Y-cam down before you rocket actually lowers the height you get, so it speeds it up a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit of an optimization.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Coco nut!
SB gets Coke. Yep.
So we're now going to start one of the longer 100 coin shines in the game because just of how much spread out things we need to be doing here in this hundreds. There's going to be a number of these flower rings with pokey heads. You can jump on the pokey head for 1 coin, or you can spray them into a wall to splat them for 3. You can unfortunately get some bad RNG and bad collision and have a pokey head get stuck in a wall, stuck in the like dying animation, but not actually dead, and then you get to hear the annoying dying animation. Right there is why we want coconut or banana, because you can then get into the slide state where you can't with the other fruits, and then you can go a lot faster up that hill to get Yoshi, because Yoshi's all the way back here at the start of the world.
SP. Bonking on the Yoshi egg. I didn't know that was possible, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well,
Routing in that coin. I didn't know. That's pretty
I make impossible bonks possible, so.
SP is the master at that.
I didn't know about that coin you just routed in. I've never seen that before. That was pretty cool.
That one's
That's a Shadow Mario
pretty
thing.
new. Yeah, that was an SM27 thing.
That does seem like a Shadow Mario strat.
And also within the past few years, getting both beehives has become more popular, as we only used to get the one with the blue coin, as that had more. The other beehive only has like a third of the bees otherwise, and only gives you a 1-up. So we used to not get that beehive at all, but crafts have changed.
Yep, this 100 has changed quite a lot in the past few years. Gonna be just spraying a few more pokies here. Yoshi movement in general is just very slow, which is why this is one of the longer hundreds as well. But we got to bring Yoshi to the other side here, because there is a butterfly balloon that you can't get within anything else. It's like one of the few blues that we have not been able to solve without Yoshi. Bees and butterflies.
Yeah, if we could route out
God, I
Yoshi
need
entirely.
Yoshi.
If we could route out Yoshi entirely, then that'd be good.
Yep.
Fianco Hundreds here has also been infamous for some old-time runners where you can get a crack to appear on your screen, like literally like a crack. And if you spray the crack, your game will crash.
It's really weird and pretty uncommon.
I think it's commonly believed that having Yoshi face the wall and despawn is what can cause it. So I think a lot of the time runners will just dip Yoshi away from the wall now, and it does not seem to be an issue anymore. So.
Oh, this new route, it basically never happens.
Yeah, there's less time that Yoshi's...
It was really only a thing back when you had to, like, get the bird and everything, but that's in 6 reds now, so...
Yeah.
It's pretty... I mean, the only thing is, I think as long as you don't spam spray, you'll be fine, from what I understand, if you get the crack. But doing Bianco Hundreds without spam spraying kind of sucks, so... It's not... You can either crash, or you can, just be slow. It's up to you. But yeah, pretty rare. Entering 8 one last time, so we can do the hidden red of Bianco 3.
Nope. We have one more here. After that, we also need to do Bianco 1 and 2. As we skip
I was
that.
saying entering Bianco 8 one last time.
Episode 8.
Bianco will be back for one extra shine after this.
Bianco 3 Reds is pretty straightforward, though there's some cool optimizations you can do here with the rocket nozzle, but most runners opt to just use the hover nozzle as it is safer and only a couple seconds slower.
Pretty hard on hidden red.
Not going for 38 now.
Yeah, this is one of those cycle-based levels, but if you have to lower your cycle a bit, it's not too bad.
Yeah, as long as you're getting around the 35-second region, it's pretty good.
I usually go for 38 strats here.
Yeah.
But I ledge grabbed, so...
Yep, it's a lot of these levels, like one little thing, and you're losing some time. Not a huge deal. You didn't die, so take that.
Oh, this is a decent Bianco.
Yeah, 6R was really clean. 8 was clean as well.
Pretty good hundreds overall, so...
Yep. And now we are doing Bianco 1.
The only thing that happened was, like, the bird.
Ah, the bird, yeah.
The bird did happen.
That could have been worse.
So yeah, it is faster to do this here. Just better to scroll back instead of getting the event cutscene.
the last polluted piranha plant that we skipped so long ago.
Remember this? Remember this guy? We skipped like an hour and 40 minutes ago, something. Gonna be routing in 1 blue with this. Normally after this fight, there's a little cutscene that warps you back. So if you get this blue at the end of the Polluted Piranha fight, it just warps you back instead of having to swim back into the water. Missing that blue is actually like quite a big time loss.
And it's convenient to get in episode 1 because starting from 1 all the way to episode 6, that specific blue travels down towards the end of the lake, I guess. So it's just really close to the piranha plant here and is within range, so that's why we get in episode 1 as compared to when we do Bianco 6 Reds.
So next up we'll be visiting Pinna Park again, but first we gotta take a little detour here. Grabbing the turbo and riding the sewers. When you're in the sewers with the turbo nozzle, you don't bonk, so makes it the fastest way to traverse by a long shot. And we're going to be going to do the final fruit lady, or no, the second to last fruit lady, excuse me. Coconut lady.
Okay. Thought one of those coconuts was going to go off into the water, but...
It's like a new strat you could do here where you like backflip, spam spray, and like get all 3 of them to fall out, but it's like not really consistent at all.
Into the hole.
Back to Pinna. Back to everyone's favorite world in SMS.
Brown. Do not like Pinna. So.
This run is going way better than most of my D restaurants have. So.
It seems like a pretty good run. Just a few of the deaths, but they weren't too long.
So,
RNG has been really good.
Pinna 6R. Come back here. Pinna 6R is one of the longer hidden reds. It's just kind of get to the end and then get all the reds, because most of the reds are just all in that section of blocks. Do need to get Yoshi again, and then if you weren't already aware, you need to make Yoshi orange, as that is the secret of the Yoshi Go Round. So you need to eat either the pineapple or the papaya. If you missed the bird earlier, like say you got pineapple, what you can do is you can opt to skip that bird and then come back and get it now in episode 6R visit.
And here's the hidden red itself, which I think this is a pretty cool hidden red here. Not much too interesting to point out. It's fairly basic, but a lot of the red coins are going to be clumped towards the end. We only get like 2 in this first half, as you're going to see. Another cycle-based secret. Destroying this block so we can jump off ASAP. And SP should be on pace to make the cycle. I'd be surprised if he wasn't.
Nice. Yeah, so destroying that ice block does allow you to stand on the watermelon block. One of the little scary things with doing that strat is you can accidentally jump into the block directly above the ice block and you can break it, which then makes getting that third coin kind of annoying. Because then you don't have an easy way up anymore. So, very good gameplay from SD overall.
Yep.
Alright, let's try to get sick Pinna 8.
Yeah, so we have another shine similar to Mecha. In Mecha, you have to hit, Mecha Bowser 3 times, or 4 times, excuse me. Here, we're going to have to hit a bunch of balloons with the same controls, which seems pretty hard, but this has been optimized a lot by runners over the years. It's fairly difficult still. There's going to be 20 of these floating in the air, but we're going to be able to combo a lot of these rocket shots to get 2 or 3 in one sitting, hopefully, with some of them. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, another important thing to remember with Pinna 8 is that these Bowser Jr. balloons, their hitbox is slightly adjusted down. So if you hit like the tuft of his hair, it's not going to count. But if you hit like the stem of the balloon, it should count.
Ooh.
That did not hit. Wow, I could have swore that was gonna hit. Surprised.
Which that might have happened there a little bit. A big strat that is used both here in Pinna 8, but also in Pinna 1 is rocket like retapping. So if you hold digital R before shooting the rocket all the way down by pressing R, the rocket will go straight instead of sometimes crazy directions if you just shoot it immediately, which this was found a long time ago by a runner named Z-Man. So that honestly saved a lot of time not having rockets go random directions, but that was a really good one lap after missing the balloon.
Missed a few, but had some pretty clean backups.
I tried to go for an intentional, like, bad angle, so I would get, like, a sick double, but it just, like, didn't do it. It's just RNG, I guess.
Yeah.
So next up, we just have the final Shine of Pinna, the 100 coin Shine. We did 2R earlier, so we do not have to do that again.
And this is the easiest 100 coin shine in the game, just because there are like a bajillion coins on the beach, so it gets really hard to actually like fail the shine. You can lose a little bit of time based on what happens with some of the coin spawns here, but it is pretty much consistent.
And the fruit Yoshi ones.
Getting coconut also loses a little bit of time since
Luckily, I know where it is.
it is far down the beach.
Yep.
Could have been way worse than that.
Sometimes there are 2 butterflies out here in the beach. Sometimes they can kind of troll you and be hiding, and then like you spend like 10 seconds just looking for where the damn butterfly is, but usually it's okay.
It is interesting with the Yoshi RNG. Like, there's this whole debate in 96 Shines from this runner, Sidon Williams, who he doesn't do Yoshi at all in his hundreds, which he doesn't have to because he often runs 96, which doesn't need the butterfly blues. But it's interesting because his reasoning for that is if you get coconut, it's just slower, so he doesn't want to take that risk. Obviously, here we don't really have a choice. Gotta get Yoshi for the butterflies.
Yeah, and the good thing with Yoshi, on top of this hundreds and 120, just from collecting blue coins, these blue shine sprites in the beach that pop out of blue coin are stupid hard to spray with Mario, but are really easy to spray with Yoshi for no apparent reason. And then, additionally, if you don't get insane, absolute cracked RNG in Pinna 2, you can opt to skip the farthest basket away from the cannon wall, like the other side of the gate here. That's because it's close enough to the wall that it's sitting on that we can just ditch Yoshi right between the basket and the wall here, dismount, and then remount, and then sidestep back into the basket here to collect the blue.
Yep.
So really good hundreds overall. That was good Pinna. Pinna 2 section.
Besides the coconut, which wasn't really SB's fault, pretty good. Really good Pinna in general.
I'll take that.
So now we are going to be leaving yet again. Going to be routing a few blues on the way to our next Delfino Shine here. Typically these blues would, or at least the blue bird would be done with Yoshi. And the M, I don't even remember where the M needs to be done, but going to be doing the second of the 2 box games that give you a shine. Makes the most sense to get it here. Technically, some runners do like grass pipe last and box game 1 earlier out of Pinna. You can interchange them if you want. So, fun little trivia for you.
I generally prefer getting the longer stuff out of the way first, if possible.
I agree. So now we're going to be doing our last fruit lady, banana lady. There are these diagonal throws you could do that save quite a bit of time over throwing it to that that umbrella perpendicular to the banana lady. And, oh, I'm stuck.
I was just about to say, as you may have noticed, a lot of these throws are pretty consistent and they save a lot of time, but if you are even slightly off and you end up on the rim of the basket, it can be absurdly annoying to get the fruit back into the basket, because spraying fruits in this game do not work nearly as well as one might hope. So what SB did there was actually a work of God, to be honest, because those fruits like to go flying sometimes. So, but now we're into Noki.
Yep. Noki 8 here. We're going to be getting the last of the 4 eel blues. You can grab this one before you can even get down to where the red coin fish is. Typically, what you used to do is just get all 4 in Noki 8, and you would get the second of the fish cycles, I guess you would call it. But it is about 2 seconds faster to do it this way.
And another important part with getting this coin here, almost got too cheap, that would have been terrible. Another important part of this is that Noki Bay has a lot of areas that tend to lag the game out with how many things are loaded on the screen.
Get away from me, bro.
Every stray needs to leave SB alone.
So there are a number of anti-lag strats, and just inherently going out to get that blue coin there and coming back to get to the fish cycle, you don't even like really have to do anti-lag strats because the number of things that you're looking at on screen are just less in general when doing it that way. So
let's be doing a little strat there where you can do spam freeze on the way down. It saves maybe a handful of frames. You know what? It's
Probably saves more time in 8 than it does in 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that actually. It's probably still like less.
Barely anything.
Yeah, it's probably like 0.4 absolute best, maybe. I think in eel it saves like 0.3 if you're like super optimal.
Yep.
Or something. Now we're gonna be doing hundreds. This is another quite long shine, but this has been lowered in time quite a lot over the past few years. SB is going to be doing what's known as the turbo route, which is pretty hard. I think it's hard, at least.
yeah, there's just a little bit of a scary jump at the end. It's fairly consistent, but if anything goes wrong with it, then you backing it up is like not an option really. So
it's pretty much over at that point.
This coin right here has also given a lot of players trouble in 120 just because of how difficult it is to access, even with the hover nozzle.
It's an awkward blue to get.
Fun fact, that blue coin right there can crash your game on English.
Yeah, I think you need a memory card in for that.
So, yep. And also depends on like
fun fact necessarily. Pretty depressing.
The way you grab the blue coin, if you're going from like front to back on the thing, is usually fine, but if you go like side to side on those walls, it can like make it more susceptible to crashing or something like that. I don't remember if it's been so long, but
It's one of those bizarre things that makes no sense.
It really doesn't make sense. So SB is going to be getting a few yellow coins here. He can skip quite a good number of them. As you see, intentionally cut a few, missed a few by accident, but was able to back a few up. It's the right amount of coins. Looking at coin counts during 100 is like really important to being fast at hundos. Like you really need to know exactly how many you have and kind of have like check points in your head. Just so you know if you need to do any like backups or anything. But SB is good on coins here. He's going to be doing the first of a few tricky jumps.
yeah, and this section right here is another one of those lag spots that can just ruin just how the game play. You go from like 30 frames to like 5, so something really important that players don't know is keeping the camera really close there, because the closer you keep it in, the less things are on screen to lag you down.
Here's also another fun fact. So SB was using the turbo to go through these little like crevices. It's the same properties as the sewers in Delfino Plaza, which is why he doesn't bonk. You can actually get what's known as sewer glitch in those as well. Oh no.
Oh, I hate this dude.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
So, this
There's
is one of
actually a
those things-
backup here, which I have not practiced in a while.
This is one of those things I was talking about with this strat. Normally you would turbo jump onto this and then immediately jump off the rope, and you would get up
whatever.
onto this shell that has
Huge.
the 100. But if you don't get there with that immediate jump, it gets really difficult to back it up because you don't have the hover nozzle, and getting up there without hover nozzle is a pain. As you can-
I think that jump's really hard. M. Larvitar has deemed that the easiest jump in the world before. I don't agree with him. I
And
think he's-
Larvitar is also speed bully in Toxic.
Yes. But yeah, it happens. That jump is not an easy jump. One of the harder developments. 20. Happens. This is a marathon run.
I should have been more safe about that. I kind of like YOLO'd the
Yeah,
angle.
it was a little of a scuffed angle, but I
It
think
would
it
have
would
worked
have
if
been fine
the
if
guy wasn't there.
Yeah, the blue wire trap wasn't there, which is unfortunate.
Mhm.
But we're done with the hundreds. Coming back in, we're going to be doing Noki 6 Reds, and then lastly the Noki Hidden Goldbird.
Yep. Gonna be doing a strat to get up here that we didn't see earlier. This is called very, very aptly ropes. Rope movement, I guess. Very standard naming, but it's pretty cool. Obviously, I didn't see it earlier because SB got some blues. And now we are back doing this hidden red.
Which this Hidden Red is pretty optimized, but it's like the optimal strats for this is significantly like easier than doing Noki 6 optimally.
Mhm.
That's just the power of having the hover nozzle.
You good? 107's really good, I think. Thanks for
That was
RTA.
good.
I think like IL wise, you can get like a 111 with like some really degenerate strats. Or something. Yep.
Losing like 50 seconds here.
Yeah, I figured after
It
that.
happens.
It does happen. It's not an, I don't think it's an easy jump at all.
I should have been more mindful.
So people used to do Noki Bird in episode 2 because of the platforms, but it's just faster to do it in 7 because of the shine scrolls.
Yep. And you might ask, why not do it in episode 8 so you don't have to scroll it? Anyways, in episode 8, one of the Noki guys will talk to you, be like, hey, Grandpa wants you to go up there and blah, 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 and gives you the helmet. So we just scroll over and we don't get any of that in episode 7.
Speed doing the jump to make it over without having to do any wall kicks.
Wow.
And this is the first of 2 gold birds we're going to be seeing.
Where did he go? Oh. I may be blind.
Getting a little scammed by the Goldbird, but is that okay?
Yep, we are done with Noki now. And we will be moving on to Serena.
Which I hope you like blue coins, because we're going to be getting a lot of them in one sitting.
Yep. Yes, we will. Gonna be starting off with episode 8, though. Which is a very, very cool shine, actually. Very difficult. At least to do fast it is. But very cool shine. We're gonna be seeing some very cool tricks coming up here. Called door clipping. We're going to use Y storage and press R at the right time. We can go right inside without having to, because those doors do not open from the front, actually.
Yeah, the whole thing is the doors are locked here from the front, and you're supposed to like find your way around the hotel within 5 minutes to find the 8 red coins. But when you press Y, you go into first person, but if you immediately start hovering after pressing Y, you can store that, and then what you can do is you can dive at the door, and when you hit the door, the Y storage will become undone, and you'll just clip through the door, which saves a ton of time in this shine. The 421 is pretty solid.
Yeah, that was good. I'm still sad about Nokia 800s. It's so sad.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
This run is still really good, all things considered.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Should be
it's
some 3 pace, right?
it might be 256 pace.
Okay.
It was 255 pace until that Nokia.
So we're starting off hundreds here, like Deathline said. A lot of blues. A lot of blue coins. And 100 yellow coins to boot as well. A lot goes on in this shine. It's one of those.
Mario
one of those
likes
shines.
money.
He does like. These torches are known to be trolls. They sometimes do not give you coins, but so far so good at them. So our torch adventure is not over.
Yeah, you can get like scammed by these torches, and like you can like completely douse a torch, and then like finally it'll pop the coin. And other times you like put like one little like tiny droplet of water on it, and it'll give you the coin. So
Those 2 torches were trolling me a little bit.
A little bit. Not too bad. Not too bad. We've seen a lot worse. There is a slightly more optimal route for certain 700s, where you get like the coins behind the mayor on the first floor, but it really isn't super.
I haven't beat my PB with that, so I don't do it yet.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think it's even that much faster.
and
We spring these little panels here, and they have coins on the door heads. I don't know what you'd call those things.
yeah, as Jeff mentioned earlier, it's just a lot of the times in hundreds it's more convenient to pick up blues because you're getting all these yellow coins anyways. So you can see that full effect here in Serena 700s, where there's a ton of blue coins just sitting next to yellow coins.
Ooh.
Okay. Trauma, head first into the wall.
This level is like the hundreds that you bonk the most on, so...
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of tight passageways. It's not. It's a very technical sign for that. Going to the attic, there is a glitch, I guess you can call it, where if you hit the boo at a certain angle, the blue coin can go out of bounds, and you just lose 30 seconds. Cry. It's not happening.
Yeah, and it like fully despawns too.
It's in your control mostly as a player. If you do mess it up, it's usually because you rushed it, to be completely honest. So.
Yeah, it's just if the boo is about to go back in the wall, generally you play it safe because you just don't want to risk that. It's not worth it. So.
Pretty good hundreds. I don't think there was too much negative to say about that.
I think there's a route here where, like, on this top floor, you can spin jump up into the vents there, but it's like it's just hard because there's no good visual cue really, other than the floor. So you kind of have to just like hover into the ceiling at a correct point to get the ledge grab back up into the vents. So
that's what you would do if it was like you're not getting blue coins, like 79 shines or 96 shines. So it's not very easy. All right. So now we're going to be doing the 2 hidden red shines in Serena. And so Serena has 2 secret levels.
I will be going for 42 strats.
Okay. I don't even know what 42 strats are, to be honest, so...
spin. Lots of spin.
True.
Go fast.
And then SB will also be collecting the last blue coin here in episode 4. There's one more casino blue hidden away in one of the machines here on the left-hand side.
Yep. Ooh, that was a cute little light turn there. Yep, Mario, teaching kids to gamble. pretty poggers. Goes right in, hole in one. Look at that. We've seen some 42 strats, hopefully.
Yeah, so a big proponent of this strat is this third coin right here. You want to try and hit it before it gets swallowed by this block and becomes intangible because you can't go through the block. And then you have to hit this momentum spin and then not die here. But it's not like the hardest thing in the world, so...
Not 42.
Not 42.
Sad.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, even with a little bit of variance, you can lose some frames there.
Yep, doing a Beyblade at the end again. We didn't really describe Beyblades, we just kind of went over them, but Beyblades pretty much just capture the speed from a butt slide, but lets you jump out of it. If you want to put it in layman's terms, and that's how you get so much...
You're basically forcing a momentum
Yeah.
slide. As I mentioned earlier, momentum spin jumps give you way more distance and speed. And when you have flood equipped, either with the spray nozzle or the hover nozzle, you can hold the R button to start spraying, and then you spin the stick real quickly, and you'll start doing the sprinkler tactic, which is a very just like niche tactic. But doing that forces grounded spin, and because of that, you can get onto a slanted slope a little bit easier without having to dive, roll out.
So last shine in Serena. We're going to be doing a little trick here to skip that entire brick wall section. Saves quite a few seconds. And now we're inside. There are no cycles in this level to worry about. It's all about execution. No pressure. Keep up.
Furnace reds are pretty easy. I think this jump right here is probably the hardest thing in the shot.
That was pretty good.
That was fast.
Nice.
That jump there from like the edge of the single file line of blocks to the sand pyramid is kind of annoying just because of depth perception.
That was only 0.77 off my Serena gold. That
Yeah,
was like
that was
an
pretty-
849.
That was pretty clean.
The bonk in episode 8, sad face.
The bug canceled it.
And once again, Delfino Shine's convenience of doing them whenever you feel like it. Left bell is just now very convenient to do out of Serena because of positioning and getting that momentum spin jump off the roof.
Mm-hmm. It's a very awkward shine to do if you are not coming from Serena, to be honest. We're going to be starting to get some points here. Coins carry over between Delfino Shines, so SB will have those 9 coins he just got into the next shine. The reasoning for this is, after you see Corona and exit, you can revisit Airstrip, where we got the first shine in the game, for a price of 10 coins. I'm going to be routing in this last one over Pachinko. So yeah, we're just going back to the Airstrip, which we will talk about the ramifications about that more in just a second. But for now, Pachinko, one of the, as you can see, 4 shots in the game.
No. Oh no.
Pachinko sucks. Pachinko is known to be a scam. It's really...
Yeah, Pachinko has some annoying mechanics, even with the fast strat.
How did I save that?
Your gamer.
How did I save that? I'll take it.
Overall, good Pachinko, I guess. Not the fastest, but could have gone much worse from there. Pachinko was really annoying, so...
You really don't want to die, because you would have to get those, SB would have to get those 10 coins all over again, which I don't even know what the optimal backup for that is.
The optimal backup is actually to cry.
Reset the game.
I think you just get the same 9 under Chuckster, and you get the poster coin that the dude is yelling at on the wall, or was yelling at one point.
So Airstrip Red's here. There's one Airstrip Blue. Airstrip Shines count as Delfino Shines, weirdly enough. I don't think the first one technically does. But
No. So these are Delfino Shines, but if you press the Z button on the GameCube controller, you can bring up a legend in the game, and that can tell you your score and where shines are. Airstrip, like Delfino Airstrip has its own little section and has a max score of 2 shines, which is the very first one in the game, and Airstrip Reds.
Yep, as you'll notice, SB is grabbing a lot of yellow coins here. When he goes back to Delfino Plaza, he is going to have that coin count carried over. So he particularly has gotten 99 coins with this route. You don't want to accidentally spawn it here, because you can't get both shines. This isn't like Mario 64, unfortunately. So, gotta be particular with the 99 yellow coins here. Which he was. So that's good.
And then we're just gonna quickly spray into someone's window. They'll throw out some money for watering their house. And then,
Nope, they did not.
go get the 100 coin shine.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's just
So-
RNG.
If anyone's curious, Airstrip does not have its own 100 coin shine. If you get the 100 coin shine in Airstrip, it counts for Delfino.
Yes.
Sunshine Community, thank you for the raid.
Yo! Sunshine Community.
So, a few more Delfino Shines. Here's one of the quickest shines you can do in the entire game, which is Underbell.
I think it is the quickest.
Just need Turbo to break the gate down, and you can grab the shine. Alternatively, you can get a fruit and place it in a specific position, and then jump against the wall and the fruit, and then you will get displaced through the wall, and you can get the shine. But in 120, since we have the Turbo, we can just do that without doing that.
Gonna be going out here to spray the second of 2 gold birds in SMS. Gonna be routing in 1 blue point with this. This is turbo exclusive blue. You can also just skip this with this like really particular
Convoluted skip setup.
I don't even know how it works honestly, but you can skip this, but we're not going to. Turbo is awesome.
What you do is you get a fruit from the fruit stand, you clip out of bounds, you throw the fruit on the ocean floor without failing, because if you fail, it despawns in the out of bounds. Get up there, get the fruit all the way over to that gate, and then do a backflip, and then throw at the correct time and clip through the gate, and then you are then stuck there until you save warp out.
Good, great strat.
And then there's another strat there on that Goldbird Shine. We haven't really explained it this run yet, but there's a strat known as GWK, or Glitchy Wall Kick. When you go into first person, normally you're locked out of pressing any buttons for a couple seconds, and then once you press something, you'll be removed out of first person. But there's a couple frames where you can still press A and B, and pressing A immediately after doing a wall jump, after pressing Y, you can get a glitchy wall kick, which gets you a little bit of extra height and reverses Mario after the wall jump. But there is a strat there for Goldberg where you can do a GWKD, which is a glitchy wall kick dive, basically, by pressing YAB in rapid succession. And it saves like 3 seconds, but it is kind of hard, so most people don't go for it.
Finally.
Finally, we are at Gelato. So typically this used to be done right after Pianta, so this would be done around the hour 40 mark. But due to routing changes, where you now go do a Delfino Shine after Pianta, we are going to be doing Gelato right second to last. And Gelato has a lot of shines, and it takes a lot of time, so settle in. We're going to be here for a few minutes.
At least
Coming up.
17.
At least 17.
Yeah, we're going to be starting off with 100 coins, I believe.
Ooh, good fruit.
Here in episode 6. SB needs to be paying attention to Yoshi in the background there. Yoshi will once again request 1 of 4 fruits, and more often than not, you basically just don't want coconut and banana here. Coconut's not too bad, but it's out of the way, and the banana is slow to throw. So you ideally want papaya or pineapple. Couple of Yoshi exclusive blues here that we need in episode 6.
Yep, this used to be done in episode 3, and you get the Yoshi exclusive blues in episode 6. In episode 6, hidden. because you can do the hidden shine in any episode in Gelato. But
Wrong fruit.
now it's just faster to do hundreds with Yoshi, but partially because you get so many yellow coins with the Yoshi blues anyway, as we're going to see. High RNG is optimal, so love to see it. Gonna be routing in a few little Sandshine blues here.
Yep. You can
We
see
saw
that-
one of those in episode 7 earlier, but we kind of glanced over it.
And here, this like yellow stuff that we call jelly, you need Yoshi's juice to dissolve it, but you can actually skip every single jelly in the game. That one's just convenient to not skip, but you can skip it.
Speed getting scammed.
Colby's.
Oh, that was a really fast B after that. And now we will be abandoning Yoshi.
And a very small but important thing to note is when mounting and dismounting Yoshi, you get your full water tank back, and you also have hover nozzle again.
Yep. Gonna be hitting this yellow button coin. This is, for top runners, not really something you worry about, but starting out, this is very risky. If you miss, if you like fall off that hill, you're kind of screwed. Your options are either like spray every green bird in the level, or like you can back it up. It just takes forever. Or you just, yeah. I've seen like runners just exit area and like reset after that. I'm not gonna call anyone out, but I've seen it, and it's I always feel bad. That's right. It's not too bad if you practice it. You do need to practice it.
Yeah. Normally, we would have the hover nozzle for those rope coins that SB just did, but by carrying along the turbo nozzle all the way up there, you can do this little section here under this Cabana beachside section a little bit faster and get to the shine a lot faster, since turbo in the water is the optimal way to traverse here.
Pretty clean hundreds besides the bees.
That was really good.
Yeah. Pretty good there.
And then another important part about doing hundreds in episode 6 is getting the turbo nozzle for regular episode 6 coming up here, because there's a lot of water traversing here we got to do.
Mm-hmm. So we'll be doing episode 6 right now.
Because there is the first box you need to get to unlock the turbo in Gelato is way the heck over there by those trees that SB was at in the middle of the level, but by getting that box, this one now becomes unlocked too, which is super convenient for this episode and for these blues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doing these blues without turbo is very miserable. It's done in like bingo and like 10 shines, no shines, and it's horrible. So you want the turbo.
Turbo here like actually saves like a minute. And getting Cheap Cheap there is intended because Cheap Cheeps will take you straight down. And that's faster than diving, because diving with Mario is absurdly slow.
These red coin, there's 2 red coins that are in like groups of fish. As we're gonna see, those are RNG. Could be on very random cycles here.
Kind of an annoying spot. SP is a gamer though and got it.
Pretty good Gelato 6, actually.
I got side rock thinged.
So yeah, the 2 things to worry about with episode 6 are the fish going through the rocks and then the coin being in a place you can't reach. And then the second thing to worry about is collision here underwater, because these rocks tend to like kind of just warp Mario a lot. So that kind of happened to SB there a little bit, which is unfortunate.
Still really good, I'd say. Yeah. Not too bad.
It is bird time.
It is, yeah, so there's actually a route that does birds, like, with GBS. Like, you do it in, not in GBS, but you do, like, episode 5 early.
Yep.
Just to get the birds out of the way. So, that route's debated whether or not it's really worth it.
Meanwhile, I'm doing it all the way at the end.
Yeah, he's doing it like 2 hours, 32 minutes, so...
Final piantissimo, but yeah, there's these 2 blue birds up there. You see one of them flying away, one of them coming in. They are on random cycles, and they like to loop around the shine tower in the center of the level, and sometimes they take like 30 seconds to come back, and that is a lot of time to be losing on RNG birds. So
Oh no. Yeah, these birds kind of suck.
there are setups to completely destroy them, but can't
Be
be
good.
much if they're not there. So SP's gonna
Yeah.
opt to come get this blue up here on the top of this pole, and during that time, hopefully the bird will come back. We also have to wait for Piantissimo to run up here anyways, because he's super slow. So it's time
Oh, he's there.
He's back.
well
He's back.
spent.
Go fly away.
Yeah, he should be good there.
Do not fly away, my friend.
The green birds can, as we're gonna see right now, play bodyguard to those blue birds, which is
And
really annoying because they get
Yep.
in the way and they can attract your
You
spray.
know what?
so yeah, kind of got destroyed by Greenbird body blocking there. So SP has opted to not sit there and wait 20 to 30 seconds for the bluebird to come back. SP's going to come back and get him in a different episode here, probably in episode 4, I'd imagine,
Hidden,
or
probably.
hidden.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now.
So, you might wonder why we're scrolling. So the Gelato Hidden you can do in any shine. You might be wondering why we scroll back to 7. In episode 8, there are like watermelons that are in your way and a lot more catapwax blocking you off. So it's just faster to scroll back on average here. It's only a 0.1 time loss to scroll back anyway, so it's worth it. So hopefully this bird will be here. If not, we'll
That
cry.
would be nice.
He gets to do the bingo movement of spraying bluebirds with the hidden shine,
Cry.
and then crying.
He's coming back.
Ah!
Maybe.
No, he's gone. Bird's toxic, man. Yeah, birds, you know, there is an element of execution, but there's a lot of RNG involved.
Yeah, bird doing troll route. Where it does like a little small circle in front of this rope.
Yeah, that pretty much killed 255, so... Rip.
Such. Unfortunate. Yeah, birds suck. Birds are really bad. No one likes birds.
I mean, it is practicable, but...
It is.
sometimes
There
it's
is.
just-
Sometimes it's just out of your control, though. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I feel like at that situation with the episode 5, like the green birds just kind of got in your way, and you were just kind of screwed.
Oh,
Episode
well.
4.
Yeah, it was, I mean, there's like a slight presence of mind. Like SP could have gone wider to avoid the birds, but it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
But anyways, now in episode 4, everyone's favorite sandbird. We notably
The green
got the
thumb?
rocket in yes, got the rocket in episode 5, and we're going to be doing Rocket Bird, which there are 4 blue coins in this little sub area with the sandbird, and it's really slow just to wait for the sandbird to climb up slowly, as I had mentioned, slow. So we're going to be using some rocket storages here to get to the final blue coin a lot quicker, and then getting to the top of the tower that houses the last red coin that we need.
Mm-hmm.
And this straight up saves like a minute, if not
Oh, yeah.
more.
This is definitely pretty hard when starting out, but it's one of those things that top runners are just pretty good at by now. One of the best 120 findings, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. And here we're going to be doing a... SP does the standard.
It always looks like he's in a bonfire.
Block.
It's always like that, though. Like, it's always like that, I feel like.
There's 2 strats there off that last cloud to get over here. There's that one with the rocket storage. There's another strat called rocket rollouts, where if you do a dive rollout right as the rocket propulsion is about to come out, you can hold the A button down while rolling out, and you get a super big like rollout because you're using the rocket at the same time. That one's a
Yeah, that
little
only
scary
saves
as
like
well.
a second, though.
So both
I
are
prefer
perfectly
the-
fine.
I prefer the consistency of the rocket storage.
Yeah. now in episode 3. This is Wiggler. Wiggler takes 3 hits, but while we're doing that, SP's going to pick up these linked blue coins because they are on opposite sides of the beach, and we have a little bit of downtime while in between these Wiggler hits. So, one of those number of optimizations, because this used to be done in hundreds, maybe even episode 1. I don't remember exactly the old route, but it was discovered that we can just do this here in episode 3 while doing these and still get it. So,
Yep. Barely loses time. Because in those little cutscenes, world's still moving.
SP does have to hurry up and get to this final spot here to get the last hit. If you mess this up, it becomes a little bit annoying to back it up, especially if you try to go for this island hit. There's another Dune Bud towards the beginning of the level that you can also use to hit Wiggler, but if Wiggler goes in a bad direction and goes into the water, the segment that wants to be ground pounded might be underwater and you can't ground pound that, so...
Then you cry.
I feel like the bird only cost me like 30 to 40.
Yeah, seems about right. I mean, other than that, this gelato has actually been really clean.
Yeah, all it takes is one little stupid thing.
Yeah, that's a mess for you right there.
One blue coin, and here we are.
Episode 2 is one of the longer shines in the game that isn't like 100 or anything like that. There are a lot of cutscenes. Having Rocket is really good for this level. It's very nice to have. You're going to be able to rocket up to these little mirrors with these are called plungellos.
Yep.
They're not cataquacs, technically. And they look like cataquacs, kind of.
Yeah.
I think in the lore they were related species.
Yeah, same
Really?
family, but different species, or something like that.
I did not know that, but it makes sense.
But yeah, having
a lot of
the rocket
RNG
there-
on these.
Yep, another micro RNG thing. The 3 mirror here, we do this in reverse order, so we go 3, 2, 1 instead of 1, 2, 3, just because it's a little bit more convenient. 3 mirror is also just annoying because there's more potential for the plungellos to be more spread out, which when they're more spread out, it becomes more of a pain to group them up and send them to the edge of the mirror. So,
Second mirror has the potential to be really trolly. Usually runners like at this level know how to avoid having any sadness on Gelato on the second mirror, but still got to be careful. Should be good here. You got to make sure those two are like together.
you go exactly opposite of them because for whatever reason the second mirror is just a bit more precise with how the ground pound works. So.
Yep. And final mirror.
Nice. So 2 things that didn't happen that could happen on that one mirror when popping off that plungello. When doing a rocket jump there, you can just get absolutely bodied by the carcass of the plungello. It does happen from time to time. And then another thing that rarely happens but is like slightly faster only in terms of tasks responsibilities is you can get a slide off kill with the plungellos where like instead of ground pounding the edge of the mirror, the plungellos like kind of displace each other and then one just like slides off the mirror and just like dies instantly. So but it's really hard to like set that up and basically not arcade viable at all. It just happens from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last blue coin in Gelato.
And then yeah, that red cataquac there gives a blue coin. So
Yep, that typically can be done in episode. It's typically done in episode 1, but if it's right in your way in episode 2, it is optimal to get it there. So.
And then the blue there under the shine with the text box. We just got to do episode 1, the last secret of the game. We're finally doing it at the 2-hour 40-minute mark, and then we will be doing the hidden for the secret right after that.
Oh no, SV had no hope there. He just got screwed, pretty much.
Yeah, I barely didn't get enough distance with that backflip dive.
Yeah.
Cataquacs are trolls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gelato 1 is very straightforward and actually a pretty well-designed secret in my opinion.
Good level.
pretty straightforward. Just do some movement up, platforming, just general stuff, and then that's it. So nothing,
Playing a Mario game with Gelato.
nothing crazy. There is a very cheeky strat that is slower, where you can start despawning the sand block below you because it's on a timer. When you ground pound a sand block like as it's disappearing, strange things happen in the game, and Mario gets like upwarped, and then you can just like upwarp above the shine, but it's just not faster than just going up there normally. But it is kind of cute to do, at the risk of potentially dying when you're messing up.
So, gonna be doing the last, or not the last, but the last Shine and Gelato, and the second to last Hidden Red in the game.
Yeah, pretty much same deal as Gelato 1 Secret. Just straight movement, kind of chill. A little bit more precise now, just because of like grabbing right coins, but it's pretty straightforward.
Yep. More platforming. It's pretty cool, Hidden Red. A lot of different strats, a lot of different ways you can do it. SP's on pretty good pace right now. Gonna get 38, really good.
Overall, really good Gelato, other than getting Omega trolled by the bird.
SB, what was your segment time there?
Like a 18:02 or something.
Yeah, the bird was just toxic.
Yeah, which, if you remove the like 40 seconds from the bird, a low to mid 17 is pretty solid. And then, because of convenience, we're going to come over here to this beach pipe. It's also called Slide, because it is just a giant slide. So,
Super slide.
I believe that is the last Delfino?
It is the
Yeah.
last. Well, unless you count the trade-in, which is not a Delfino. So. The reason we want to finish by Rico is because you are. It's just easy to trade all your blues in one sitting.
This is the part where I'd open a fruit prediction.
So there is, as Jeff mentioned, there are some routes where you do Rico right after Pinna during the 80% portion, and in that route you can opt to do episode 8 early, because there is the last final checkpoint of major RNG where with the fruit machine. But SB's gonna be doing hundreds first before that.
Yep. This is one of the coolest hundos in the game, in my opinion. A lot of blue coins, one of those hundos where you just get like 20 blues. Because why not? Gonna be pretty cool. Gonna be getting what's known as a sewer glitch here, where if you touch Mario's head at the top of this sewer, Mario's hitboxes become really weird, and he just was able to run into that spider and kill it without having to get Yoshi, and that's going to apply to every other spider and enemy that be killing.
And on top of that, it also applies to durians, so you cannot proactively try to kick durians well with sewer glitch unless you go really slow and line up your shots.
Mm-hmm.
This
People
linked
find
pair,
that by accident.
this linked pair is a scam. You're intended to use the turbo nozzle to get this one going from top down, but it's actually faster. Mario goes faster at a top speed when water sliding than using the turbo on the ground. And that link pair timing is really tight as it is anyways, so...
And here's where we get a lot of those blue coins that we saw in like episode 3. There's where you get it.
Okay.
You're getting other yellow coins.
Yeah, you really can't, like, not hit that girder there if the crane is completely facing that way.
Yeah.
A little bit of micro RNG with the crane. As you noticed, SB also had to like ditch one of those crane coins out in No Man's Land.
Oh no. Missing,
Look up for that. Oh, hold on, I missed it. Wait. I swear this is easy. No.
always when you need
Alright,
it,
screw it.
doesn't go right.
Yeah, jumping out of the water and using rocket is deceptively hard, because, again, water physics in this game are really not good, despite there being a lot of water in Super Mario Sunshine. In order to jump out of water, you need to be like...
Okay, dude.
You got the thing! That's so dumb. That's also really, really not common. That does not happen.
No, it's not.
The blue basically just went straight through the ground, which can't happen there. That's really dumb.
That is dumb.
Dude, just kill him. Oh my god.
But to jump out of water on the surface, you need to be neutral on the stick, which is difficult because you're also trying to swim at the same time.
A lot of coins here that are just housing blue coins right nearby you as well. Did you get a backup coin, SB?
Yeah, I got a blooper.
So, a little bit of an unfortunate Rico 100s. But the good takeaway is the route here, because the route is really exciting, because Rico 100s has changed from Rico 300s to the Rico 600s route to now the Rico 800s route, so...
Yep. So, last hundo wrapped away there.
I'd say that could be worse, but I don't know if it could have been.
I cannot believe you had the blue coin go through the grate. That does not happen. That's so rare.
Yeah, I was like, that's gonna happen, isn't it? And then it happened.
Pain.
So, last hit and red of the run now.
I've actually only seen it happen in Pianto, where it just like falls to the death plane from the butterflies.
I have had that happen to me once because I tried being cute and exiting area on the blue coin because it was like bingo or something, and it didn't work because it fell through. So SMS is a great game. Is essentially the takeaway.
Yeah, a lot of things can go terribly wrong in sometimes. Reacting to that is part of the experience. Rico 4 Reds is pretty chill overall. Nothing
This
too
level is
crazy.
really cool. Like at a top, like Nindine does like some like crazy stuff here. This level is like just insane to watch in my opinion. SP getting a really good time there.
Nice. Oh, I
Oh,
sat
no.
down.
Are you taking a seat? He's tired. He's been running around Isle Delfino for 3 hours now. Yep, 2 more shines to be wrapped away now. Going to be going to Rico 2 yet again. This is the laziest shine in SMS. Like, it's literally Rico 2, but you do it again. Is there any difference? Technically, you have a slightly smaller time window.
I believe on the first visit it's 40 seconds, and then the second visit is 35.
It's 45 and 40, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, 45 and 40 is one of those.
So, in other words, it's the same exact shine.
Which, casually, even if you don't know about the shortcuts in Rico 2
Oh,
and going around the
I'm
long
sad.
way,
I
you
still
really
think
should.
with the long way, you get sub 40.
You get like a 33 at
Yeah.
worst, so
Yeah, they didn't know what to do. They were just like, all right, you know what I think would have been cool is if they did like a red coin shine in Rico 2. But they didn't, so we're just doing Rico 2. Here we are.
yeah. And then SB was doing the blooperless movement, where you actually don't need to enter the sub-level with blooper, but unfortunately bonked into the wall, so
17.
I think
Nice.
it's really fast.
Yeah, 70's really good. Alright, now we get to see how many fruit tries SP's gonna get in Rico 8. This is the last, but not least, RNG portion of SMS. Fruit wishing to be pretty brutal. Doesn't really feel like there's a great average for this shine. Like getting first is not the most common, although it's not like super uncommon.
I would say within 6 is about average.
I'd read the average is like 4.
Somewhere around, yeah, within a full set of fruit. Getting like 5 extras is like 30 seconds already, so...
Yeah. There are some routes that do this shine like super early, but those are slow, so we're not doing slow stuff.
Wrong spiky fruit.
Yeah, and then you really pray you don't get banana prior to
Deadline!
durian, because you need to spray the banana to get out of the way, because if you leave it right where it is and the durian comes out, it'll hit and fall down to the second layer, and then you need to jump kick it back up, which is fine.
Oh,
then
no.
it hits the
Wasn't
wall.
there again.
I blame this all on Deathline for jinxing it. That's all.
I
I
feel like I
expected
watched
it to be fair, but
I watched a run just like this.
yo, alright.
That's pretty rare to get like durian twice in a row. Oh god. Oh, that's only a chicken.
My fruits are
Pretty rare.
starting to be
Honestly, if you get durian once, I feel like often you're just like hitting it like 30 times again for another durian. So it's pretty lucky.
So, I believe the recorded worst is like 19 or something, allegedly.
It's by Tober, who did it for a category called Pineapple Percent. And we asked like top runners, or top like people who know this game like Noki Doki, and they said that the same odds for pineapple are for durian, and Tober got like 20 attempts for pineapple. It was crazy. I was there, I think.
So, conveniently grabbing these blue coins that are near the last shine. 240 blue coins, achieved.
SB
gonna go.
The fans.
SB gonna go for some swag here.
Yeah.
And diagonally clip through the cage because the cage is not made well, and then have the shine animation with Yoshi.
So
And
I
now
believe
trading.
this can till still 257.
With 1 second to spare.
All right.
SB is speed right now. So, 1 shine
But-
for 10 blue coins. We're going to be trading in 24 of those for
I would say this was a good run, though, all things considered.
of 119. Now
Considering it's a marathon, I'd say it was pretty dang good.
Sub 3 is good for a marathon.
It's really just, it came down to like the bluebirds being annoying, came down to...
A couple of 100 coin shines going a little bit awry.
Yeah. But we still got
Yeah,
one
very
final
close.
shine to finish. I'm gonna be going for Fast Corona here, which is close to optimal. I mean, it is optimal. I don't know why I said close to optimal. It's the optimal Corona movement. I guess technically not optimal if you consider it like TAS. So, but SP gets it. And now we are going to be doing what's known as fast boat. Before we would do the boat very slowly to get the blues, but typically you just zoom.
Speed boat is actually easier than doing slow boat.
I am inclined to agree.
And then back in the day before rocket storage was discovered, we used to have to do cloud cancels here, which was cursed.
I think I just killed it.
We could just rocket storage all the way up. And then we watch a cutscene. And then there's a little bit of tiny RNG that can happen here with the bathwater absolutely botting you. It's not super common, but it does happen from time to time here. Just getting destroyed even with managing your ground pounds really well here. Mario, how dare you stir my family vacation? Or so. The weakest final boss in any Mario title, all you need to do is to ground pound these 5 platforms that hold up this Shine Sprite looking thing.
Oh no. 257 was probably dead anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, I got that ledge grab and it killed it.
Yeah, so not really a big deal.
And yeah, as I said, a little bit of bathwater micro RNG that sometimes you just can't avoid. We do land on specific spots on these tiles to make Mario run the correct direction, otherwise you get sent into instant butt slide, which then gets really hard to move out of, so...
But yeah, GG. A sub
GG.
3 in a marathon is always something to
GG.
be happy with.
That was a really good run.
Yeah. Just came down to like a few
I think
major
it was
tiles.
pretty solid. I got a gold.
It was worth it then. I
True.
think, well, so what was it, like, Noki hundreds, Rico hundreds, and then Goldberg and, like, a death or two? Just
Yeah, I died twice. There was also... What happened? Yeah, pretty much just that stuff. Some troll birds, some bad. Just bad.
just bad.
Yeah.
um,
But yeah, that's
258 is still, like, 4th place on the leaderboard or something, so... Maybe 5th, but it's a really damn good run, so well played to SB. 120 is
Thank you
hard.
for commentating.
yeah. Thanks for playing. Great job, SB. That's it from me. But yeah, thanks for having me commentate, and good luck on 70 star.
Thanks for having me
Thanks.
commentate. I don't know if I'm commentating 70 star.
You can if you
Right.
want, but you don't need to.
I will consider it.
Alright.